Hello, everyone. Welcome, and glad that you're here joining us. We got a lot of early birds. I want to say hi to Jane Spitfire and Dallas and John Marciano and Willie B 933. XJW Cultures. That's Seth and Felicia and Dakota.
Welcome to the party.
And Nadine. Hi, Nadine. And we're going to mix things up a little bit. And if anybody wants to come on, Matthew, Miles Gray, hello all. Alora Mermaid, hi Alora. Remember to hit the like button. Yes, please.
Hello all.
Hi Seth. Got to turn your microphone on.
Hi Seth.
And Matthew, good to see you
You're
here.
looking better, Seth. Oh,
how's your eye doing?
Well, it's good.
Much better.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this morning, I've been dealing with allergies. This morning, my eye, this eye, was really puffy. And it was really scratching and really hurting. And I couldn't stand it. So we got an appointment with a new eye doctor. He took me right away because we know him. He's one of our customers. And he looked into my eye and he said, your eyelashes are inward. Did you ever hear that? So your eyelashes are supposed to be on the outside of your lid. Well, mine were on the inside. And he said they're like sharp little needles up against your eyelid. So he had to pull every one of them out. And boy, did that hurt. Even though he put a little antiseptic on it, it still hurt.
But it's relieved.
Oh, it relieved it. Yeah. So it's not like, all he wanted to do was scratch it. And anyway, that's my story.
My story is really, for my eye, what happened. I don't know how many know. I got an eye injury. I end up going to urgent care. It was unfounded. They said our best advice is go to the doctor and go to the hospital, go to the ER, and then go to the eye doctor. And they said if you go, which I would have been paying out of pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway, it went away on its own. I had an eye patch on for half a day, and whatever went away. So I don't know what it was.
How are you doing, Matthew?
Coping up as best as possible, but very grateful for your presence and also the community.
Wow.
There's a lot to be thankful for.
Glad you're out here.
And we hear Dakota in the background.
There's a telescope in the back, Matthew?
Those are tripods.
Just tripods. I see. Okay, got it.
Try and be a little bit interesting, you know.
Oh, well, it is. It is.
Well, other than the eye difficulties, how are things your side of the world?
Our side
busy. We've been busy.
In fact, it was great. It was very rewarding today. One of a customer that came in.
A new customer.
It was a young woman.
I was at the eye doctor.
Lamps to repair. Fine. I noticed she was interested in something that was on one of the walls. I didn't know what it was. But then when I was through with the intake and all that, and then I went into my presentation of the Jehovah's Witness, Beware of Jehovah's Witnesses. And she said, I'm disfellowshipped. It's like, whoa. And she's 40 something, huh?
45.
And she
was disfellowshipped at 18.
She's 18. So it was emotional for her. She never expected it. She always wondered, why isn't there something of support for them? And I said, well, there is.
She didn't have any support. And she's probably on listening tonight. I
Yes.
want to give a shout out
Welcome.
and say hi, Nicole. She
Yeah.
said she's going to be watching.
Hello,
Dakota.
Nicole, if you're watching. Hello. There's a lot of support for you.
Dakota, say hello to Nicole.
I feel you.
Okay.
Is this the same Nicole that was on Anne Marie's show?
No.
This is totally new.
Yes.
She has not had any connection. She has not had
Nothing.
any connection with
Nothing.
any ExJWs.
Nothing.
Oh,
So-
hello, Nicole.
We're very glad she made our connection.
So if Nicole wants to come on, all you have to do is, if anyone wants to come on, just go to at the top of the live chat where it says Joe and Fran Garino, the HTTPS, just tap on that and that'll bring you in the studio. And then you just turn off your YouTube.
Who we were supposed to send a link to? Somebody wanted a link.
Yeah, Keith,
Yes.
I sent it to Keith.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Keith will be on,
Okay, good.
but I don't think they'll be ready this week.
Well,
But anyway, they'll be on.
Oh.
Nadine, I gave the link to her. Anybody that wants to come on, though, you don't need the link. The link is right in the chat,
right.
so you can go there. Want to say hello to Rich Q Journey. That's Richard that we met, and I think we said hello to everyone. We want to do birthdays?
Yes, we'll
while
start with
everyone
the
is
party.
here? Yeah,
We'll
we're gonna.
start with the party.
We got Dakota's coming to the party. Okay, birthdays this month.
Go ahead, honey.
September 1st, Elsa Brownlee, Nate Truly, and Tommy Geske.
And September 3rd, Maya Faircloth David.
September 5th, Maria Benson.
And September 6th, Bob.
September 7th, Mickey McAllen and Denise Hedberg.
September 8th, Suzanne Snyder.
September 9th, Annette Haas.
September 10th, Simon, Jenem's son, and Debbie's great-grandson.
Liam.
Liam.
Yeah. Okay. September 11th, Michaela Mully. She's visiting her brother this week.
And September 12th, Jessica Basinger Sipe.
And AJ.
Inside.
Yeah.
And AJ Stringham.
September 13th, Pete from Canada.
Hi, Pete. September 15th, Seth Coulter, 31 years old.
Coming up.
LJ Welsh.
September 16th, Use de Great.
And September 19th, Deanna Elise Moore and Aaron Williamson.
September 21st, Johnny Lesbin.
September 23rd, Sandra Pavlich.
September 24th, Fritz Springmeyer and Rodney Allgood.
And September 27th, Jonathan Wilson.
September 28th, Mary McKenzie.
29th, Morgan Whalen.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, all.
Okay, you're going to sing Happy Birthday, Dakota. Sing it to your pop. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And so far, we don't have any anniversaries for the month of September, but there must be.
Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Uh,
He's got it down.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and just a point, the reason why birthdays are so meaningful is because number one, everybody has one.
yes.
Number one. And number two, so many people missed so many of them when they were growing up. They missed the recognition of their birthday, which is a humanly thoughtful thing, to just recognize the day of one's birth. And unfortunately, ones in our family, our young ones, missed too many of them, and we regret that, as well as many others. But we we certainly are glad to be able to share in others now. So maybe we can do something to make up for it someday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Seth, how are you going to celebrate your birthday?
I'm going to work.
Okay.
Get a job. Oh, yeah.
But we're working on moving, and so next
Wow.
month is Felicia's birthday.
Oh,
So we're
nice.
gonna do a combined thing probably sometime during the month of October, where we either get away for the weekend or just enjoy each other or have a meal and have some time with our son or something. So
That'll
we
be
got something
nice.
coming up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sure you do.
So nice. So nice.
That's little. Huh? Shauna just said, oh, Lottie. Oh, Lottie. Hi, Lottie. Hold on, Lottie. We just want to read the upcoming events. We've got a meetup in September 27th and 28th. The 26th and the 27th in Las Vegas. It's a 2-day, and they're going to have many different events. So they're going to be at the beer house on Friday. And then Saturday, they're going to have bowling and dinner. So just go to the ExJWFriends.com and you can find all the details there. And then in October 18th, coming up, ExJW meetup in Port Orange, Florida. And that's from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So there it is right there. Foxtail Coffee, Port Orange, Florida. So if anyone is in that area, drive on over and check it out. Thank you, Shauna. So Lottie, you have some news for us. All you have to do is unmute your microphone, and we'll be able to hear you.
There you go.
The next time I'm going to tell my story. I wanted to see tonight if I'm able to get on. Yeah, it's easy to get on. So I know it for next Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Whenever
Whenever
you're
you can.
ready, Lottie.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
you're
thank
welcome.
you. You did a good job coming on too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
There you
Good,
go. Well, you
good.
can stick around
But-
if you want.
Yeah, today it was easy. I tried previous times and for some reason it didn't work, but today it really worked. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Well,
good.
now you got it down. So
Yes.
we look forward to hearing your story.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lottie.
Very nice. Okay. Just a little bit about our meetup that we had this past Sunday. We had 24 people show up. It was right locally here. And it's interesting. 12 were ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and 12 were friends and family that had never been Jehovah's Witnesses. So it was a nice mix.
Yeah, pretty strange numbers too. 12
Yeah,
and
12
12.
and 12. It just so happened to work out that way.
Yeah.
There were some that couldn't make it for sickness or whatever reasons, but
It was
looking
nice. It was
forward to
very
the
good.
next one. There was a couple, a brother and a sister, fleshly brother and sister that came from Amsterdam, Jasmine and her brother Jamie. And Jamie came to watch the game. The Jets game was on, and I promised him we had now Seth. The only way he would come is if
Go Chiefs!
the only way he would come on is if he could watch the Jets game, and so
And he
we got
did,
there,
and we're glad to. Yeah.
and he watched it, and he felt bad, he wasn't being part of it. And then afterwards, he realized how much, how many stories the ExJWs and what they went through. So he really was glad that he came and accompanied his sister.
It's just so rewarding to watch the interactions take place the friendships that establish, and I'll say the comfort that gets achieved through those relationships. It's precious. It really is. It's just so good to see. So you one new friendship can change your whole life. It really can.
Yes, it was really nice. And
Yeah.
then, friends of ours that have supported us, and they just love to be around, the XJWs and support them. So it was the next day we went on a picnic with just a few of the family. Also, Annie came and she spent a couple nights with us. Annie that comes on the program.
Yeah.
So she enjoyed herself. It was very, very nice time. I'm just noticing the comments here, something I wasn't aware of, but Nadine brought it to our attention. If anyone is in the comments, I just want to say that it was a very sad day to hear about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Very devastating. Charlie Kirk. They have, and then she goes on to say, they have hatred in their hearts, if they even have a heart. I know there's a lot of evil in this world, and I think that's the subject of this show today. Yes, we're going to show a short video about evil. And says, Jane said, Nadine, yes, to go and hurt someone in this day and age. Guess violence and evil never leave humans. Unfortunately,
Charlie
it
Kirk.
doesn't.
I'm we missed
We
that.
missed it. Yeah.
No, it's just a name on that. Was that KURT or KIRK?
KIRK. That's
Charlie.
yeah, he was the right-wing podcaster. He done a lot of meetups, done a lot of very healthy debates. I feel like he was very open for the debate style, but
And so what happened?
Got assassinated.
Yeah.
Doesn't show that here.
No.
Oh no, I know who that is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Assassinated.
That's what it said.
31 years old. That one hits close to home.
That's
I'm
horrible.
sure it does.
That's horrible.
Do they know much about it? Is there much in the news?
As far as I know, I was listening to a couple of different stations on my way back home from work. As far as I know, they had someone in custody. Then that person turned out not to be the shooter. And so right now it's at large. They did a press conference. That's as much as I know right now. I know he has a wife and 2 very young kids.
I bet he
So
does.
That's horrible.
That's a horrible, horrible, horrible.
That's
Yes.
horrible.
Unfortunately, there's so much evil in this world, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Yes, Sue R said, I've never heard about him before. Jay said, my condolences to his family. It's always sad when something like that happens.
I always enjoyed watching him.
Yeah. So you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, we were just listening to another, the developer, someone who's a proponent of Bitcoin. Man is, he's a
He was a doctor.
brain surgeon and pretty
his
powerful spokesman for Bitcoin. His name
It's Kraus.
Cruz.
Cruz.
Yeah, you might want to look him up.
Oh,
Jack. Is it Jack Cruz?
I'll find it in a second.
Yeah, it's Jack, Kruse.
Bitcoin. Here it is. Yeah, Jack Cruz, Kruse.
Oh, yeah.
You said?
Yeah, the man is a wealth of knowledge, and proposes for some sweeping changes in the society. Suppose he has to be careful too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one we were watching, I think, was a 4-hour.
Yeah.
But he got into everything. The
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
The
He got
government.
into the history of government and why all the backdoor deals that government does, which are all conspiratorial. They literally are, they do conspire, and they do achieve their goals through those conspiring to do something. Basically, they don't truthfully put forth what they're doing. They do it secretly. Very interesting. It's the world we live in right now. It really is. So if there's, the question is, an interesting point. He said that truth changes. And it has to do with the point of view that we have about whatever reality that we live. And it changes. It does change. It's not something that's stable, like looking for the truth and then someone telling you, here's the truth. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. And I personally, and just to end on this note, the only portion of that word that I find of value is our truthfulness, the way we project truth through our lives, especially to those close to us. Mm-hmm. Our truthfulness is something we get to live, or not, and which is one of the concerns that I have, especially for folks who are still in the watchtower but find it very hard to disconnect because they're not living their truthfulness. They're not. I understand why too. I do understand. But it's something we all work out. We have a nice short video here, and I think it's some pretty good insight in it.
The person talking in the video is a professor. He's a
Chinese.
Went to school at Harvard.
Yale.
Yale.
Yeah.
Was raised in Canada, but his father, obviously was from China. Very, 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 very,
poor.
Very poor. Grew up very poor.
But he's
father, but the son.
This guy's pretty capable.
And he's very, very knowledgeable. Yeah.
And in the scenario here, he's basically teaching a class to a number of students, basically high school-ish or whatever. And that's the scenario. And there's ongoing classes that he conducts. And this is just one of them, a portion of one of them.
So if you want to look at the whole thing, it's called Secret History Number 5, The Birth of Evil.
And what's the channel?
Predictive History.
Predictive. Yeah, the channel's Predictive History. So, roll the clip.
Jesus. The Christians believe that Jesus is the final prophet. Okay? In fact, Jesus is God himself. That's why it's called Christianity. Because they believe in Jesus Christ. So this is the entire history of Judaism and Christianity. What they believe, officially. Any questions before I move on? Okay, so now as you can understand, if you are a true Christian or you're a true Jew, there are actually lots of issues with this understanding. Okay? The first issue is, why did God have to kick us out of the Garden of Eden? I mean, was eating a fruit so bad as to banish us from paradise? Like, what was wrong with eating that fruit? Okay, that's a great mystery in the religion. Why did the original sin happen? And why was God so angry? Second problem is Noah. I mean, like, God destroyed the world because we were wicked. But after he destroyed the world, we were still wicked. So why did God have to destroy the world in the first place? If he's God, then should he understand how humans are? Wouldn't he understand that destroying the world would just, it doesn't really do anything, okay? So that's kind of strange. The last problem is Jesus. Who was Jesus? And why did he have to kill himself? Why did God have to send his only son to die for humanity? Okay, so if you're new to Christianity, the very idea of Jesus actually doesn't make much sense to you. I grew up in the West. I grew up in a Christian world, and it never made sense to me, okay? People told me about how great Jesus was, like, okay, the story doesn't make any sense. So if you're a really smart person, there are lots of questions about this interpretation of the Bible, and these are the three major ones. Okay? So now what I will do now is I'll explain to you what the esoteric, what secret societies believe really happened. Okay? So I want to start with Noah. Why did God destroy the world? The reason why God destroyed the world is not because of humans, but because of something else. These people are called the Nephilim. Okay, also, by the way, if you guys are interested in learning more, there are two books that are not part of the Bible, but which will give you insight into the esoteric knowledge, okay? The first is called the Book of Enoch. Book of Enoch. The second is called the Gospel of Thomas. Okay, all right. So I am using these two books as sources for my explanation, okay? So the Nephilim are children of angels and women. Okay, so what happened was that the angels who were supposed to watch humanity came down and saw, wow, these humans, these females are really beautiful. So what do? Well, they have sex with them, right? And then what happens? They have lots and lots of children. And what do these children do? These children enslave humanity. These people are called Nephilim, okay? So if you want to understand what happened, let's do a thought experiment. Let's just say that there's this group of superhumans called the Avengers. You know, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, okay? And they fight Thanos and they save the world. And now what do? Well, they're bored, so they start to have lots and lots of sex. They have lots and lots of children. And these children now are like demigods, right? So what do? Well, they enslave humanity. But then what do? Well, they start fighting amongst themselves. Okay? So that's basically what happened. So God had to destroy the Nephilim because they are not natural. Angels and humans are not supposed to have sex with each other. And this creates a new power called the Nephilim. The problem, though, is the Nephilim are divine, and therefore they cannot be killed. So you can get rid of their mortal bodies, but now they become demons who live underground and are in the shadows. And guess what, guys? They're still here today. So these two societies, they believe the Nephilim are real, and they still control the world. The richest people in the world are actually Nephilim, okay? Because they've been around for thousands of years, and therefore they're able to control the development of humanity. Okay, so they're called the Nephilim. So that's easy to understand. But now the question then is, wait a minute, why did Adam eat that fruit, and why did Jesus have to kill himself? Well, now it gets really complicated, okay? So now I need to explain to you what the secret societies believe, okay? Remember, they believe that mind leads to matter. What does that mean? Okay, let me explain what this means. Mind leads to matter. In the beginning, the true God is called the monad, okay, the one. So just think of this as the core of the universe, the sun, the divine sun. The monad is so powerful that when he breathes, okay, he vibrates divine energy. And over millions of years, this divine energy creates new life forms. Okay, so the first life form are called the dyads. Dyads are just pairs, okay, usually male, female, that are children of the monad. And they're able by themselves to create new universes as well, okay? So the dyads start to emanate, okay? So the entire universe is vibration. It's vibrational energy. It's the breathing of these cosmic beings, okay? And over time, over millions of years, these vibrations become atoms, which then leads to matter, okay? That's what they mean by mind leads to matter. Now, one of these dyads, named Sophia, decides, you know what? I can be just as good as the monad. What does the monad do? The monad is able to propagate by itself, by himself. He doesn't need to mate. So Sophia says, you know what? I'm going to produce something by myself. I'm going to have a child by myself to prove I am the monad, okay? So she does this, and she creates a new being, okay? A new being. This is called the demiurge. There are different names. We'll call them the demiurge. The demiurge is a monster, a monstrosity, because it goes against the natural order. So then Sophia is like, oops, I shouldn't have done that. So what does she do? She abandons the monstrosity. She throws him away and hides him in a sea of clouds. So no one knows he actually exists. Okay? Even the demiurge doesn't know he exists. The demiurge does not know about this world, right? Therefore, he believes that he must be the one true God, capable of creating new life. So what does he create? Us. Okay? He creates the planet Earth. And then he creates Adam and Eve. Okay? That's what a monster would do, okay? Look at this history. What kind of God would kick someone out of paradise for eating a fruit? A monster would do it, right? What kind of God would kill a people for no particular reason? A monster would do that, okay? What kind of God would demand that a people be loyal to that person? A monster. What kind of God would enforce his will on a people? A monster. What kind of God would say to someone, you're the only person I like, everyone else I hate? A monster would do that. Okay? So, in other words, the true secret that these secret societies are trying to keep is the God we worship today is the false God. And we are actually in a prison created by this false God. And that's who Jesus was. Jesus was a cosmic being sent by the monad to tell us the truth about the world. And that's why he died, because the Roman Empire could not allow people to see the truth. If I told you the truth, you would know it right away. You would wake up. Therefore, the truth tellers must be killed. Okay? So that's what these secret societies believe. They believe that the monad exists, and the mind of the monad is what creates the universe. And Jesus was sent to remind us that even though we're in a prison, there's still the monad in you. There's a spark in you, a divine light in you that you can activate. And if you activate it, then you will return to the monad. You will see the truth for yourself. And when you die, your soul, which is part of the monad, will want to return to the monad and can escape this world. But to activate this light, you must be a good person. You must love one another. You must reject money and materialism. And grades, okay? Grades in school. You must reject competition. You must reject material wealth in order to pursue spiritual happiness. Okay? That was the message of Jesus. Now you can imagine that the powers that be, the Nephilim, were not like this, okay? It's a direct threat to Nephilim, who now control the prison created by the demiurge. It's also a direct threat to the demiurge. And that's why these secret societies have been, over the centuries, been repressed, been executed, okay, been massacred. But they believe that it is their duty to protect this secret, because only by protecting the secret can humanity be ultimately saved. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, any questions? All right, so you have the official version, which is what you're taught in school, but now you have the secret version that is only taught in secret societies. The other thing about secret societies that's really important is they believe that most of us cannot accept the truth. If I told you this, you think I'm crazy and report me to the police. Okay? Therefore, they can only wait for people to wake up by themselves and approach them. And if you approach them, then they will test you, and then they will reveal the secret of the universe to you. Okay? And that's why these secret societies were founded, and that's why they've been so persistent and so successful over the centuries. Right? So now the question is, okay, this is a great theory, but how do we know it's true or not? How do we know that this is actually what they really thought? Well, we know because in poetry, in literature, the members of the secret societies have embedded the secret within the poetry. So if you're able to analyze the poetry properly, you will see for yourself that this is true. Okay?
You wanted to cut it.
Okay.
So that's for them to look up. Is that what you have on? Okay. Yes. Okay. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Did you want to go more? It's a
We
little bit
can
long.
hear you, Fran.
Okay.
Hi. What he's going to go into next, if anyone would like to hear, is Milton, Paradise Lost.
Yes.
It's very poetically deep, and he goes on to explain it. I think it might be very interesting.
Would you like to hear it?
Can anyone hear?
Why don't you play it, Fran?
Okay, let's
All right,
play
Shauna,
it.
Shauna,
Yeah, Shauna, please.
if you can keep going.
So what we're going to do is we will study today the greatest poem in English language called Paradise Lost by John Milton, who actually was a member of the secret societies. Okay. Any questions before I continue? Okay, we're going to read Paradise Lost, okay? Are we clear? Any questions? Yeah, there's a question here.
If all of these are from the false god, do we have a like truth god? Like, do we, or like it's just a thing?
Okay, yeah. So in this system, the monad is a true god. Okay? And the question then is, why doesn't the monad interfere? Why doesn't the monad stop the demiurge from imprisoning us and making our lives hell? And there are two explanations for why this is happening. Okay, the first explanation is that the monad does not interfere in material affairs. Okay, because the monad it's all mind. And also, we have the capacity to reject this world and return to the monad. Right? So why would he force us to do what we don't want to do? Okay? If you want to return to him, then you have the choice to engage in spirituality, to engage in goodness, to engage in knowledge, and then you'll be able to return to him, okay? That's the first explanation. Second explanation is that, and this comes from Dante, okay? The monad is a force that is eternal, perfect, and immutable, and therefore the monad has no imagination. But how do you grow as a being? You grow through the imagination. So in order for the monad to continue to grow, the monad allowed for the demiurge to create human beings. Because as human beings, we are flawed, we make mistakes, we commit evil. But by committing evil, by making mistakes, we expand the imagination of the universe. Okay, which allows the monad to expand. Okay, so in this perspective, what is happening is that each time we imagine, we return to the monad. Okay, so it's hard to understand, but the monad, it's there, it's eternal, but it's also becoming. It's also moving. And so when we imagine things, when we commit mistakes, but at the same time, when we recognize these mistakes and try to adjust for these mistakes, we expand the imagination of the monad. And that's why these secret societies believe that evil and good exist together. You can only be good if you do evil. Okay? Because by committing evil, it gives you a chance to become better. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. All right, so we're doing Paradise Lost. All right. This is the national epic of the British Empire. If you are a member of the British Empire, which rules the world today, the Anglo-American Empire, it rules the world today. If you are an elite member of the British Empire, you memorize this poem, okay? And it becomes part of your soul, basically. And it's beautiful, okay? So this was written by a man named John Milton. And John Milton, he was a rebel. He was a free thinker. He questioned the world. He fought for himself. And he was a passionate advocate of free speech. He was a man who wrote Paradise Lost. And he wrote it when he was blind. He could not see. Therefore, he had to speak it out, and his secretaries had to write it down for him. And as you can see, well, if a blind man is able to recite poetry, you must think he is a prophet. He's a messenger of God. What he is revealing to you is divine truth. Okay? All right? So, John Milton, and his most famous work is called Paradise Lost. And Paradise Lost is the foundational text of many secret societies. They read this, they discuss this, they worship this text. And within this text lies the secrets of the universe. Okay? But only, okay, this is really hard, but only if you understand the secrets yourself can you see the secrets embedded in Paradise Lost. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we will read 2 speeches by Satan. The plot of Paradise Lost is really, really simple. It's trying to reimagine the fall of man. Remember, Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden. Then they eat that fruit and God banishes them. Okay? So Milton is trying to tell the story again. And he imagines a serpent who tricks Eve into eating the fruit as Satan himself. And Satan was God's favorite angel. They had a falling out. Satan rebelled against God. God won the war, and Satan and the devils are now banished to hell. And Paradise Lost begins with the devils discussing what to do. They've lost this war against God. They will never, ever defeat God. Now they're stuck in hell. So now what do? Some propose that, you know what, let's just create an empire. Okay, some are like, you know what, let's just sit back and enjoy life. Okay, but Satan is determined to seek vengeance against God. And so what he wants to do is go to the Garden of Eden and corrupt Adam and Eve and destroy humanity forever. Okay, so they all agree this is a great plan, but now the question then is, who's going to go? Because it's dangerous, right? Because you're escaping hell, there are angels guarding hell. But even if you leave hell, you go into the abyss, you go into space, right? You don't even know where Earth is. You get lost for all of eternity. So no one wants to go. So at this time, when no one wants to go, Satan steps up and says, I will go. Okay, and this is his speech. O progeny of heaven, imperial thrones, with reason have deep silence and demur seized us, though undismayed. Okay, I know you guys are scared. All right? Long is the way and hard that out of hell leads up to light. Our prison strong, this huge convex of fire, outrageous to devour, immerse us round ninefold, and gates of burning adamant barred over us prohibit all egress. This prison is designed to keep us here for all eternity. It will be hard to escape this prison. These paths, if any paths, the void profound of unessential night receives him next. Wide gaping and with utter loss of being threatens him, plunged in that abortive gulf. If thence he escape into whatever world or unknown region, what remains him less than unknown in dangers and as hard escape. Okay, if you can leave hell, you're still up in the abyss of the universe, right? You're going to be floating there for all eternity. You don't know where you're going. But I should ill become this throne, O peers, and this imperial sovereignty, adorned with splendor, armed with power, if aught proposed and just of public moment in the shape of difficulty or danger could deter me from attempting. Wherefore do I assume these royalties and not refuse to reign, refusing to accept as great a share of hazard as of honor, do alike to him who reigns, and so much to him do of hazard more as he above the rest. Okay, so what he's saying here is really simple. I'm your leader, and therefore I must go. You have trusted me to lead you for all eternity, and therefore I will risk my entire life to prove my worth. High honor sits. Go therefore, mighty powers, terror of heaven, though fallen, intend at home, while here shall be our home, what best may ease the present misery, and render hell more tolerable. If there be cure or charm to respite or deceive or slack the pain of this ill mention, intermit no watch against a wakeful foe, while I abroad through all the coasts of dark destruction seek deliverance for us all. This enterprise none shall partake with me. I am your leader. I will go by myself. You guys can just sit here and like sip, have some drinks, watch some TV, enjoy yourself. I don't care, okay? I'm your leader. I will go by myself to redeem us, to deliver us from our torment, okay? So as you can see, this is heroic. He is the grand hero. A couple of things I will say about the speech is, number one, what he's describing, and secret societies believe this, is he's describing his ascent from hell as almost our souls leaving our bodies to the heavens, okay? And some secret societies believe that when you die, the first person you meet is Satan, because it is Satan who knows how to take you from this world, the prison world, to the light, because he's done this, okay? So Satan is a very important part of our back to the monad. Also, if you study this poetry very closely, you study the imagery, what he's describing almost is a baby leaving the womb, right? Because the baby is in the womb, a prison, and then the baby escapes. So secret societies believe that life and death are the same thing. To be born, you must die. And when you die, you are born again. Okay? All right. The other thing is that these secret societies will use the speech as an initiation ceremony for members. When you join secret society, you must by yourself choose to fight for all of humanity by yourself. You must be the hero. Okay? You must know when you join a secret society, people will hunt you. People want to kill you for speaking the truth. Do you dare to go on this journey? Okay? So that's the first speech. The second speech is much more important. This is a speech where Satan, the serpent, convinces Eve to eat the fruit. Okay? And this speech is very powerful. Okay? So I'm going to read it really fast and then explain to you what it means. O sacred, wise, and wisdom-giving plant, mother of science, now I feel thy power within me clear, not only to discern things in their causes, but to trace the ways of highest agents deemed however wise. Eve is talking to the serpent, and Eve is of course like, hey, what can you speak? And the serpent says, because I ate that fruit from the knowledge of good and evil. It gives you power, okay? So the serpent now wants to convince Eve to eat that fruit, so he invokes the power of the tree, right? Oh, sacred tree, give me the power to speak so well that I convince Eve to do the impossible. Queen of this universe, do not believe those rigid threats of death. Ye shall not die. How should ye? By the fruit, it gives you life to knowledge. By the threatener, look on me who have touched and tasted, yet both live. Okay? So God has warned Eve, Adam and Eve, if you eat this fruit, you will die. And the serpent is saying, no, that's not true. Look at me. I eat the fruit and I'm still alive. And life more perfect have attained than fate meant me by venturing higher than my lot. Shall that be shut to man, which the beast is open? Or will God incense his ire for such a petty trespass and not praise rather your dauntless virtue? What's in the saying here is really important. If he is a true God, he will reward you for your risk-taking, right? He said the fruit will kill you as a test. A true God will want you to become better and better. And you can only do that by transgressing, by making mistakes, by disobeying authority. And a true God would reward you for seeking more knowledge. Whom the pain of death denounced, whatever thing death be, deterred not from achieving what might lead to happier life. Knowledge of good and evil, of good, how just, of evil. If what is evil be real, why not known, since easier shunned? We can only be good people if we know what evil is, right? If you don't know if good and evil, then you're just stupid, okay? It's because you shun away from evil, you ignore evil, you fight evil, that you're a good person. God therefore cannot hurt you and be just, not God, nor feared then, nor obeyed. Your fear itself of death removes the fear. Why then was this forbid? Okay, so he's asking himself, why would God not allow you to eat that fruit? Why but to awe, why but to keep ye low and ignorant, his worshippers? He knows that in the day ye eat, therefore your eyes that seem so clear, yet are but dim, shall perfectly be then open and cleared, and ye shall be as gods. So what's in this thing is this? There's two possibilities, okay? Either God is testing you. God really wants you to disobey him because that will allow you to achieve more virtue and knowledge. Or God is enslaving you and keeping you ignorant because God is afraid that you might become God himself. Okay, so there are two possibilities. All right? What can your knowledge hurt him, or this tree impart against his will of all be his? Or is it envy, and can envy dwell in heavenly breasts? If he is God, he is in control of everything. He knows everything. Therefore, if you eat this fruit, how could I possibly challenge him? Unless he's a false God. Unless he's tricking you. Unless he's deceiving you. Unless he's trying to imprison you. Okay, that's the only possibility. Now, this is Satan's speech. And you know, I took Milton in college. I was an English major at Yale, and I took in a semester of Paradise Lost. And at university, I was taught that this speech shows you how clever and evil Satan is. He's lying to Eve. God is invincible, omniscient. You can't eat a fruit and become God. That's ridiculous. Also, Eve is stupid because she believes him, right? That's what you're taught at university. That's what you believe. But, this is really important, when you actually read the Bible, Satan is telling the truth. Satan's logic is what the Bible says. Okay? A professor at Yale will tell you that Satan is lying. When you actually read the Bible by yourself, you will see he's telling the truth. So we're going to read the Bible together, okay? This is what the Bible says. This is the Word of God. All right, so this is Genesis. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other wild animal that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God say, you shall not eat from any tree in the garden, okay? So in the Bible, this is actually not Satan, it's just a serpent. The woman said to the serpent, we may not eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God said, you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, nor shall you touch it, or you shall die. The serpent said to the woman, you will not die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you'll be more like God, knowing good and evil, okay? So this is exactly what Satan said. Okay? And this is what the Bible is saying as well. Now, let's move on. Eventually, God banishes Adam and Eve for eating the fruit. And you believe that they were banished because they disobeyed God. But if you actually read the Bible, that's not what it says. For disobeying God, God punishes both Adam and Eve. Eve now, when she gives birth, will suffer pain, right? And Adam will now have to work hard to grow food. That's the punishment. The banishment is not the punishment. So another question then is, why were they banished? Again, let's read the Bible, okay? So the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise. She took of its fruit and ate. And she was also gave some to her husband who was with her, and she ate. Then the eyes of both were opened. Okay? So Satan is telling the truth. You will not die. You will learn. You will become higher. Okay? Satan was telling the truth. All right? So what did God kick Adam and Eve out? And the Lord God said, see, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil, and now he might reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. This is why. There are two trees. The tree of knowledge, which allows you to have the mind of God, and the tree of life, which allows you to live as long as God. What God is saying is this. If Adam and Eve ate that fruit from the knowledge of good and evil, and then they eat also a fruit from the tree of life, they will be like us. Satan was telling the truth, and God was lying to Adam and Eve all along. Okay? So now the question then is, how did Eve know that Satan was telling the truth? How did she know? How? Well, the problem is if you try it once and you're wrong, you die, right? So how did she know? She was certain that Satan was telling the truth. She was certain. Yes, he must be telling the truth. Why? The light in us, you understand? The true God. The true God still speaks to us today, right? The false God will lie to us, but inside you, in your heart, is the light that connects you back to the monad. And that tells you what is false, what is true. Okay, that's how she knew. All right? So you see, Paradise Lost is now showing us the lost secrets of the universe. All right. So I'll finish by talking about the Nephilim. In the Bible, it says that the Nephilim are the children from angels and women, okay? So when people began to multiply on the face of the ground and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that they were fair, and they took wives for themselves of all that they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not abide in mortals forever, for they are flesh. Their days shall be 120 years, okay? So now God sees Nephilim as a threat as well. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans who bore children to them. These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown, okay? This is really important because it introduces the Nephilim, which is still around today, okay, according to these secret societies. But also, what it's doing is this. It's telling us the children, the heroes that are of old, warriors of renown, who are they? They're Hercules, they're Achilles, they're Theseus. They're all heroes from different mythologies. Where do they come from? They come from the mating of angels and humans. The sons of God, who are they? They are the old gods. Zeus, Ares, Apollo, okay? So this is the beginning of monotheism, where the Bible is trying to destroy polytheistic mythologies and create one universe where the God is supreme, okay? And in this universe, Zeus now becomes a son of God, and the children that Zeus has with mortal woman are now called the Nephilim. So Hercules is Nephilim, okay? So we'll go into this theme throughout the semester where the Bible is a tremendous act of propaganda that tries to reinvent reality around one true God, okay? But by doing that, it's denying our intuition, and it's denying the history of humanity. All right, okay, so we'll continue this theme next class. Any questions before we conclude? Yes?
Well, I think nowadays a lot of us will pray to God like for getting something that we wanted. But as you said, like, are we praying to the truth God or the false God? Do we know? Or like do we get to know like from our wishes?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So according to these secret societies, okay, the truth is that when you pray, you're praying to the false God. Because where's the true God? It's inside you, okay? So don't pray to an outside force. Look inside to you and ask yourself, I know for a fact what is true. If I believe in myself enough, then I will find the truth. Okay? And actually, that's a theme throughout Western poetry and literature. The theme is that we will always be in conflict between the devil and God, between good and evil. And what we must do is not say, like, I must surrender to God. What we must do is believe in ourselves. Make mistakes, but know that you will eventually find a light, because the light is in you, okay? As long as you still believe in yourself, all these mistakes you make will become your strength, because they become part of your wisdom, okay? That's the divine truth that these secret societies are trying to promote. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do evil, but listen to the light, and the light will tell you how to redeem yourself, okay? The possibility for redemption, for growth, for imagination is all in us because of our connection to the monad. And the monad will reward you for believing in yourself, but you must first believe in yourself. And believing in yourself means often defying authority, making mistakes, transgressing against the rules of society. Okay? And that's the ultimate secret that these secret societies are trying to keep. All right, any more questions? That was a really good question, thank you.
Well, the gods are usually depicted as the most beautiful. Then why gods like Zeus will come to human society and give birth with fertilize with the human girls?
Okay.
Any questions?
How long have you been studying this, Fran and Joe?
A few weeks.
Yeah, we just found him recently, but he does a lot of different lectures.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Just a different outlook. You know?
I mean, the man's reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously brings a really wide-ranging knowledge base to understanding the Bible. And I like what he said. He even recognized there's truth there. You know, Satan was speaking the truth, but yet the Bible is a propaganda piece for a world that seeks to establish empire over humans. And because they're afraid of our power, our godness. And that's what I come to realize and appreciate is that we discern things within ourselves in the quiet of our privacy, in the dark, when we're alone, when we're on our bed. We listen to ourselves, and answers come.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, someone will seek to direct us as a slave.
Yeah, we don't have to agree with this.
No.
But it's just a different perspective. And Born JW says, I'm not afraid to hear different ideas. I was spoon-fed gobbledygook since infancy.
Yeah.
So now we get a chance to make our own decision.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Joe and Fran, on this? Do you think that the top tiers in Jehovah's Witnesses, the controllers, are very aware of this information because there's some theosophy there? Milton is referred to by the theosophists.
I think that some are, and some are comfortably ignorant. And I think there's some that are just subordinate to them. There are ones that know. I'm absolutely sure. Absolutely sure.
I raised a question about the old Dwelling Together in Unity manual, the green manual that was provided pre-2000, before the I want to say, mission statement change, or the charter, the organization charter changed around about 2000. It also changed fairly recently, around about 2013 too, when there was a big reset and they cleared everybody's sins and you took an oath at the assembly. And I look at that old Dwelling Together in Unity manual. I can't find it anywhere. I can't find the pre-2000 one. I can find the other ones. I can't find the
and it's so interesting. It's so interesting how they manage knowledge. Yeah,
because it has the whole Jacob's ladder at the beginning, quoting Genesis 28, which is designed to awaken the spark, which is exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, I like that. The spark within us.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you would report it, then they would shut it down unless you were in the invited tier. Because once that happened, your natural sight, I'm not talking about this sight, I'm talking about the inner sight, exposed every secret in the organization. They couldn't have that unless you were now tied into the demon under control.
Yeah.
Because there would be nothing you wouldn't be able to see. You'd be able to see into Franz's office, the whole lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I think they knew that there would be just a limited period of time where they could keep people in blindness and darkness, and they knew. I believe they knew that there would be a time of enlightenment like there is now. I truly believe that.
Well, it's good to be able to talk with you freely without being labeled a lunatic.
Oh my goodness, of course.
Can we say hello to Linda?
Thank you.
Hello,
Matthew.
Apostle Babe. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew.
Hello.
Good to see you guys.
See you and hear you.
Ditto.
Any thoughts, Linda? Oops, I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, so this guy, I want you guys to realize that he also mentioned this, that when the woman Eve gave the fruit to Adam, this person that was quoting, maybe it was scripture, I think it was scripture at that time, he said to Adam, who was right there with her. So as the snake was deceiving Eve, Adam was there with her. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's many stories about, Adam was off somewhere else and Eve was deceived because, she's weak and everything. And maybe that is, maybe we are the weaker vessel. But if he was there, which scripture says he was, the New World Translation doesn't say that, but he just read it. And I've seen scripture that says that. Why didn't he say something like, oh no, don't do that? Like, we better not listen to this talking snake.
He probably knew that. He probably knew better, but didn't have the courage to go through to oppose it. She probably had the courage.
Might he have been as mesmerized as she was, as captivated as she was, or as deceived as she was, might he have been under that allure?
Deceived by who, Linda?
I'm talking about the snake, who is assumed to be Satan.
Well, no,
so
see, Satan was telling the truth.
Correct, but scripture says that this was deception.
Well, we all know what scripture says.
Scripture says a lot of stuff.
It's true.
Scripture says that the God of the Old Testament killed a whole lot of more people than Satan of the Bible did. And but yes, I like the part that he mentioned. Why did they get cast out? Not so much because they ate the fruit, but they had to make sure they wouldn't go to the other tree that was there as well.
Oh yeah, didn't want
that was the tree of life. Oh no, we can't let them get to that.
That like us.
I think someone. I get the impression that they didn't want the experiment to go too far. That's the impression I get. You know,
It does seem like an experiment, doesn't it?
honestly, I mean, I come to the belief that the source, creator, God, monad, was interested in something outside of himself and just thought he'd provide some entertainment. I mean, that's the impression I got. But yet he didn't want it to go so far that it took on literally a life of its own. You know.
Yes. So this person, this Asian person who is teaching this class, he's teaching something called, I believe it's psychohistory, PSY, CHOSI, no, HISTORY, psychohistory. Am I saying that correctly? When you,
yeah.
when you look in, and his page, his YouTube channel tells us that that's what he's teaching. So when you look it up and look into it, it's considered a science fiction. And so it's fascinating. A lot of stuff he's saying I'm agreeing with, especially God is within you. I mean, before Christ was crucified, his apostles were like telling the kids, no, don't bother Jesus. He's, don't bother him. And he says, don't tell them not to come to me. The kingdom of God is within them.
Yeah.
So if the kingdom as God is within these children that he welcomed, can we think of the kingdom of God as being within us?
That's right.
Can we?
Yes.
It makes you wonder.
Not too complicated.
And even as witnesses, we were told when people would say, well, the kingdom of God is within us. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that Jesus was with them, with his disciples.
No, Jesus ever said all he ever said he was the son of mankind. He didn't say it was God's son. He said he was the son of man. And here the kingdom of God is within us.
Yeah, we hear an echo too. I don't know if Linda, do you have your YouTube on?
No, I literally go from I have two cell phones. Okay. I go from one cell phone, I go to the live stream, then I send it to a text to my other device, and then then I retrieve the StreamYard through my other device to avoid this. So that's pretty fascinating.
Okay.
You do well.
If you want, I can send the link to you directly. Then you don't have to go through all that.
I would love that.
Okay, I'll remember to send it to you.
It becomes more and more clear to me why the governing body, the Pope, any religious directors would not want people to have a direct relationship with the Bible. They wouldn't want that because we would understand it, and we wouldn't be under their spell.
I think the Bible has a lot of good lessons to learn. There's many parables. I mean, the governing body uses a parable to tell us that they are the fulfillment of a prophecy, right? That's how they claim to be the faithful and discreet slave. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things we can learn from the Bible. And what's interesting also that he said was, okay, these angels from heaven, we all know the story, but today it just came to me. Why are these non-gender angels attracted to these women? Oh, thank you. I'll use that.
Well, the only thing I get out of that, I get it, is that they saw the interaction between the male and female, and they thought that might be an interesting phenomena to experience. That's the thing I would get. In other words, if they took on male and engaged with the female, then there would be those sparks that fly, so to speak.
Can I chip in there, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
So I've heard the community is familiar with the book Angels and Women, which is the sanitized version of Sioda. Now, Linda James mentioned something about, or was alluding to, a metaphorical framework, because these are stories. And so the Angels and Women book was like a science fiction metaphor, but that Russell had gone into, I believe Ciola was, I might be getting controversial here. In fact, I know I am, because it was automatic writing, which is the very thing that Theosophy teaches, or Ouspensky and Gurdjieff, all of those secret schools were teaching.
Okay.
And so you've got your friends in the past century, those that were working with atomic energy and all of that kind of stuff, that were coming from those kind of disciplines, which were very microwaves, atomic, that was all occult considered knowledge. Electricity is occult.
Excuse
knowledge,
me just a
but knowledge.
second. Matthew?
Wait a second, Matthew.
Okay, hold on just a second. Linda, when you're not speaking, can you mute yourself? And Matthew, are you able to speak up a little more?
There's a little.
Yes, I can. Thank you for that. Sorry.
Okay.
So, I don't know where I was.
And the way it related to the interaction between the Nephilim, between the angels.
Oh yes. So within the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, you've got. In fact, it used to be available, but it became taboo. I know this because when the one Bethel was clearing out its boxes, we inherited a lot of those books.
Wow.
And like the South African branch, the writing desk has photographs of Biblica Hebraica and Leningrad Codex.
Wow.
But why isn't it available to every student? Why has the Greek interlinear been taken away? You're aware of this.
Oh, yeah.
In your head, you know that this is exactly what's happened. And of course, Gray gets into trouble with this because I say, well, if we've removed this, why aren't we making this available with our technology so that we can see all the various ways to translate the text?
Yeah.
And it comes exactly to this theosophical society information that we were just discussing now. I think
they just wanted to control the narrative. They just wanted to control the narrative. Again, Rutherford was crystal clear. See, he knew what other religionists knew at the time, that religion is a snare and a racket. It's foregone conclusion. In his mind, that was a foregone conclusion, almost as if to say, sure, everybody knows this. Religion's a snare and a racket. And he went on to prove it. But
so the Ciola book goes into the weird aspect that, in fact, the solar system had a previous version of our containers. Now, right. I'm not saying I agree with it or I disagree because I think it's important to have the academic approach and allow for it to be disproved.
Right.
But they were saying, like, for instance, we lived on Mars and got into our minds an arrogance similar to what happened at Atlantis and blew the planet to pieces in like an atomic war, that kind of cataclysmic thing, which then broke the water canopy on Earth, and you've got your Noah account, and all those explanations seem to come from. Yeah.
Well, there's another thing might be, I don't know if you're familiar with the Phoenix event. As you look it up sometime, see what you think. It's a cyclic cataclysmic event from above that basically did a reset. It does a reset.
Yeah.
And it's
and
like
so that explains the genetic manipulation in order to have containers ready on Earth, so that those spirits which are considered indestructible have something to inhabit.
Wow.
But so we don't destroy the earth, there must be forgetfulness.
Huh.
So in other words, it's another chance, and the rules, the laws, the religions are there to suppress humanity from ever repeating the same kind of thing that happened elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm going to just emphasize, I don't necessarily promote
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
one belief above another. But
Oh, no, right. I
that's
understand.
the other.
Well, look, humans, we're uniquely qualified to discuss this. But religion says, whoa, wait a minute. Here's what we want you to think. Here's what we want you to say. Here's what we want you to do. And that's what religion is. And they know that we are capable of everything. Everything that comes before us, we're capable of coming to discern it. They know that. And they don't like that.
If I could just interrupt and say something, there was something going on in the chat. There's some people that were not comfortable with the video, and I understand that. And you don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to be comfortable.
And especially some that are newly out, okay, and they got triggered by some of the responses.
Triggered by some of the responses
here because they weren't able to express their feelings, and someone was ready to shut them down. So we want to be very careful in the we have to be careful of our comments, of what we say to others, because there are new ones here. They're not up to, some of this stuff. This is some deep stuff that they may not be up to, and that's okay. You don't have to. But we do try to be friends here.
Yeah, this
and
is where
we can disagree. That's okay.
This is,
but we have to be careful how we respond.
See, this is where fear overrides curiosity and information. We're uniquely able to manage and handle information, and then make our own decisions for ourselves. So what I would say to anyone who's getting triggered is maintain your control on what you want to believe. Don't feel like others are trying to control your beliefs. You have control over what you want to believe. Even if someone else believes something very different, it's okay. It really is okay. See, and that's where being sovereign beings comes in. We're sovereign. It's our mind. We get to control what's in our mind. Just like it's our mouth, we get to control what goes in our mouth. No one gets to tell us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and this goes so different than involvement in religion. When a person's involved in a religion, they basically give over their mind, and they let a sovereign, whatever, man or otherwise, take over and inhabit their mind. And then they use that person for a vessel. Now, if that's what a person wants, I understand that. Some people are comfortable and they crave being a vessel for something larger than them. I understand that. I see that. They're comfortable with that. Others, they're not comfortable with that. We are not someone that has to be controlled by someone else. We have our own sovereignty there.
It doesn't have anything to do with belief. It's with others who claim to be friends who turn on you. It really doesn't have anything about belief. I'm sorry for saying anything. I'm sorry for hurting the show. You're not hurting the show.
No one's hurting the show.
Nobody's hurting the show.
No.
And we're sorry if, you were hurt.
No.
But that's not the
intention.
See,
the chat, incidentally, is the last place in the world to conduct a conversation, especially on matters that are complicated. The chat is not the place for that.
We've had this problem before in the chat because
I know.
It's very hard to communicate your true feelings in the chat.
No. I mean, usually it has to be face to face.
And can I take this since we're on this subject, I just want to say that I'm someone that used to be raised as a Jehovah's Witness. The doctrines are still like in me. They're still in me, and I don't necessarily still believe them, but I understand Watchtower theology, and I have a respect for Jehovah's Witnesses. They are my people. Okay, I mean, I'm serious. They are my people. When somebody decides to talk like they're dumb or stupid, they better get out of the way, because I'm going to be informing them otherwise, because I don't, being a Jehovah's Witness is a place I was at. I didn't care for it, but when I give opinions today, I really want people to know that they're simply my opinions. Take what you like and leave the rest. If they don't ring true to you, I do have a mindset that people have to agree with me. If you do, okay. If you don't, I'm okay with that too. And I hope to not push my convictions on anyone here. And please know that if you're receiving it that way, please know that that's really never my intention. And if it does sound like that, call me on it. Please call me on it. Okay? I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Linda, that's a beautiful clarification. It really is. Because each of us, we have a passion. We have a feeling for what we believe in. And there's nothing wrong with expressing that. There really isn't. In fact, we need to. I'm interested in other people expressing their passion. But
well, I wasn't allowed to in the Watchtower. That's for dang sure.
In fact,
especially being a woman.
No, I know. But
I'll tell you what's hell. Being born a girl child in this organization. That's what's a tough day. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Someone wants you literally in that position. Because they don't respect you as that kind of human being. They don't. Just like they don't respect us as a certain kind of sovereign human being. They don't respect that. And this is where we get a chance to look at what we are and what we want to be. Self-directed. It's self-directed. But at the same time,
what a wonderful concept, self-directing and being a sovereign being. When I first heard that, made absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah.
I remember the first time somebody said you were entitled to. Yeah. I forget what it was. Yeah. What? Or if somebody would say you deserve that, I'm thinking, why? Like, what did I do to? It was such a foreign concept, But today I've thought about it more, and it has come to ring true. When I think about things and it just never settles in, I reject it, but I give it some time to try to settle in somewhere, and
Wow, that's it. That's our uniqueness. We can do that. And see, and this is where we were groomed the opposite, the antithesis of that, to be the preachers to others as to what they should believe. And that to me was so disrespectful to them. I should have been asking them, what do you believe? What are you about? Where are your, what moves you? See, instead of we went to the door and we told them what they should believe, or they're going to die or be killed. Terrible.
One of the first things we were taught is that we are a representative of Jehovah. So that put a huge responsibility on us. And it sunk into our identity, who we are, and our purpose. And then, we find out that going door to door was called basically it's mandatory. I forget what they call it, but all of us are supposed to do it. All of us. So,
I maintain that if we can get excited for a change of shoes, a change of style, we can get excited for a change of ideology. We can do that.
Yes.
We can do that.
Yes. I'll never forget, I was going to this other church for a while, and we were going to go door to door and share that, the gospel, like literally share the gospel with people at the door and offer them the opportunity to, say a prayer to be born again. Okay, that's mainstream Christianity theology. That's the church I was going to at the time. And my roommate said, "Did you want to borrow my 10-speed bicycle?" And the reason this is so funny, in case somebody's listening and doesn't know, the Mormons are notorious for riding their 10 speeds when they early on in their adult life, they go on what is called a 2-year mission.
Right.
So that's how they do the gospel. They'll go out and about, and they're always in 2s, and it's always, they have their bicycles, but they have cars and stuff too, and women go on those missions too. So when he when he offered me his 10-speed, that I thought that was the most darling, inaccurate thing possible.
To interact with others with their different beliefs, and to look at each other, and to still have an affection for each other, because we're all the same. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Joe,
Man,
can I be quick to apologize for the sake of, because I can't see the chat outside of this.
Oh.
But if I think what we were often denied was genuine apology, so that if we've reached a personal limitation in just the way that maybe we're learning or presenting things, or that we have triggered somebody and it's just becoming too complex, just to say sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize because you're important to me.
Yeah. That's it.
That's right.
So I say that now, and I also say that I feel very dignified in this kind of company, because I can see that there is a dignity that's there that is allowing for this kind of exploration, which we were often denied.
Oh, we were denied it horribly. It was dignity abuse. It really was. It was abuse of our dignity as humans. It really was. And I understand why so many come out, with a lack of confidence, lack of spiritual confidence, a lack of social confidence, just with different people. I mean, there's so many different people on this earth. I mean, everyone's different, but yeah, we do share something that we can value in each other. Mm-hmm. And boy, that's what I would truly like for the friends, the born-in friends, and anyone coming out to experience. And the joy of experiencing each other, because it's there. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to feel like anybody is attacking anyone if they're, giving their viewpoint. It's not an attack. Please don't view it as an attack. And if someone is attacking, the moderators are watching, and they will delete them if anybody is attacking. And that's why the moderators are there.
And understandably, because the chat isn't there for attacks. It really isn't. But if anyone does feel that they need to defend an attack, I welcome them. I welcome them to talk about it.
There's something I'd like to direct to Linda James if she's comfortable. If not, I'll apologize ahead there. But it was when Linda was talking about defending our own, or defending our background, or defending our people, because we were right in it. And there was somebody named Nicole, and I was linking this Nicole to somebody I heard with Anne Marie. And she was reaching out, and she was kind of saying, what do I do? And persons were jumping in and saying, well, go talk to your attorney and talk to your lawyer and put a block against elders that don't know their boundaries and things like this. And I was just wondering, and I don't know how naive this is, but when Linda James was saying she protects her own. My instinct for Nicole, I don't know her, but I could hear the plight. I think we could relate to that. And she was going, what do I do? What do I do? How can I protect myself? And you know, when you've got a bunch of elders that are coming down on you like a ton of bricks because there's a liability exposed or something like this, or you know, some truth that's very unpleasant that they don't want to face, how many felt like they could bring in another witness? You know, there's this 2-witness rule, or this 1918 thing that's just misapplied. But I would have appreciated having somebody able to be a neutral party. I had to force it legally, but what about persons that are disenfranchised? To have somebody that can say, well, look, I'm going to come in. Are you intruding on my personal space, or are you coming in on my boundary? That's evil.
Yes.
Because that's a trespass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about. But I really felt for her because I was thinking, man, I wanted to say to her, include me on your email or include me on your Zoom. I'll shut up, I'll zip up, and all I'll do is I'll just be present.
Yeah. Support.
Because now, when there is that unfair weight, because you've got 2 or 3 people against you coming in, then it reverses the polarity.
Yes. Well, I wish we could have done. We should have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Should have. Hello, Keith.
Hey guys,
How are you? Our West Coast brother.
what's up, dudes? It's like totally amazing out here. I'd like to tell you about God's kingdom. It's going to change everything. Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
you bet. And you're the one. And you're the one.
Hey, is Linda here?
Yeah, she is.
What's up, Linda?
Hey, you. That's how we start our phone calls. I'd like to tell you
This
about
is Linda,
Jehovah.
everybody's
We
favorite
just go.
apostate.
Thank you. We go into Watchtower talk. It's so fun.
Yeah,
We just
it
like
is.
automatically, instantly talking
I've met you
Watchtower
before,
theology.
right, Matthew? Your beard is a little bit too long for my liking, sir. It's okay.
His beard is amazing, actually.
No, it's a mentally diseased beard.
No, Keith.
Well,
Keith,
that's
you're
Very
just
possible.
jealous.
I am jealous. Look at my clean-shaven
Totally.
look. I look so clean and holy. You know,
Rutherford would approve.
he would.
Yes.
Jesus
Yes.
was clean-shaven, as we all know, because
I remember
God's
the
appointed
pictures.
representative told us so.
Yep.
Well, cheers to all of you, right? Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's
Yeah.
right. We can cheers now.
Clinky clink. I'm at college, you know. Oh, I want you to say hi to my friend Victor. He's like a wonderful guy. He's from Russia. You say hi.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Victor.
These are all ex-Jehovah's.
We're a fun bunch.
What is this?
A little socially
This is
awkward, but
ex-Jehovah's
fun.
Witnesses. We're all whining about how hard our life has been. It's great.
Yeah, I can whine too.
He came from Vladimir Putin, so what we've been through is nothing compared to what he had to go through.
Wow.
He's
Oh, come on.
You know, in Russia, Jehovah's Witnesses can't even hang out like anymore.
Right, we're banned.
No,
We're
we love
banned
Vladimir
in
Putin.
Russia.
Don't say
Yes, we are.
that.
Well, we don't love him, but we love that Jehovah's Witnesses can't hang out. Well,
Oh,
sort of. I don't know.
don't even say
Did you say you? Is your friend
No, we're not going to talk about
offended?
the politics.
I
So
don't
what's
think I
the
heard
topic?
anything.
What's
Yeah.
the topic? What are you guys
Okay.
doing? What are you
Let's
talking about?
talk music. Keith is
Oh,
an
okay.
incredible musician, and he's going.
Well, this is one of our lead singers, actually. He's an
Oh,
incredible
wonderful.
singer.
We look forward
Nice.
So
He looks like
you're
a
gonna
good
see,
front
I
man
have
too.
a link you can go to. I'll send it to you right now. Hold on.
Good.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on.
to
There we go. I'm sharing it with Joe and Fran. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is
Here
that your
goes.
last name, Bush? B-U-S-H?
Yeah, sadly, unfortunately. So you can look that up. Our orchestra is launching this spring of 20. So we'll be doing auditions this spring. We have a mansion that we're renting, which is really fun, and we're doing a television show called "Who Wants to Be a Virtuoso." Yeah. So you can look us up on YouTube. You can look at lovealwayswins.co.
All right.
And then you can check out like like what we're doing. We're gonna be writing a song called "The Sound of Shunning." It's good. It's
The
really good.
sound of
Of
shunning.
shunning,
Dun, dun,
and
dun,
then your
dun, dun, dun,
parents turn
dun.
away
Dun,
because
dun,
you
dun, dun,
like to
dun.
clean. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Like
it's
that.
great.
Never
It's gonna be
fails.
good. Linda's a good singer, you guys.
Yes, she
Thank
is.
you.
It's true.
Thank you. And Matthew does some amazing stuff with his PC.
Is that so? Is he like a
Yes.
Python C+ dude? What do you
I
do,
don't
Linda
know.
sir?
James is
Tell us.
deflecting from her talent, and I'm onto you, Linda James, because we know
Wow.
your
I can't
talent
hear you.
is phenomenal.
Thank you. So check out his channel,
Yeah,
and
love always
it's
wins.
it's
Love
interesting.
always wins.
Yeah,
Love
we're gonna
always
be
Mhm.
talking about like how love is a waste of time. It's stupid.
You know
We
what?
should
Love
all just
does
be.
win.
No. We should start our own following, exploit people with 501c3. It's better. Yeah. We should all like pretend we're anointed. It'd be awesome. Boy,
Pretend.
I miss you guys and your cookies and everything.
I have to
Oh
tell
my
you,
God.
Matthew, that's an inside reference. When we first came out,
Mm-hmm.
we said if people are going to associate apostasy with such violent bitterness and hatefulness, we're going to
Yeah.
come out with something sweet and beautiful.
Yeah.
And we came out with an apostate
Cookie. Apostate cookies.
It was a very
And Linda
special.
got apostate cookie
It
and
was a
I got
very
apostate
special
cookies.
cookie, and we spread them around as much as we
Yeah.
could.
Hold on. I'm going to share the picture I still have of us. Hold on. I want you to post it. It's a really good picture. Hold on.
So this is the Holy
Oh.
Sacrament now, is it?
Oh, yeah. Did you get my link, Fran?
No, I'm waiting for it.
All right. I thought I sent it to you. No,
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm
Go
sending
ahead.
you a link. Okay, hold
Okay.
on.
You're sending it through a text, right?
Yeah, did you get it?
No.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to send it. So there's a link to my website, which I just sent you. And then I sent, I sent you the link to.
Just got it, Keith.
You got both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll
All
send
right, and then I'm sending a picture of us when we first met, all of us, remember?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
in
I want you to.
California. We had a
That's
meetup in
right.
California, man.
All right, I'm going
That
to
was
send
a
you that
group
picture.
I would
have
love
that
for it to
picture.
be put into
Yeah, I want you to see it because it's a great picture.
some
It's
of the
such a good
opening music.
Okay.
Hold on.
So I
Hold on.
got your
It's
website.
coming up.
Okay.
Where is it? Oh, it was a while ago, so I got to scroll through my pictures. Hold on.
What did he say?
Love always wins. That's his site.
It was a couple of years ago, and I'm a night person and I'm a day sleeper, and I missed my ride. The person that was kind enough to take me, I missed my ride. And then I called Fran and I slept in past my alarm. And she said, "That's fine. I'm sending somebody to get you right now." And that's how I met Keith.
That's right.
Yes. And
yeah, I came and picked you up. You were not ready for service, but we went and did some return visits anyway.
Yes.
It was good.
And then by the
We
end
went
of
to
the
a donut
day,
shop. We actually went
did.
to a real donut.
We did.
It was very cool.
Real classy donuts.
And we
And I-
actually had service groups. We went. We went to the donut shop and service groups.
Wow.
We did. We kind of did.
Wow.
That was such a good time, right? Now, you guys traveled all over the country, right?
Yeah, well, we went all the way to California, the lower coast, and then the upper to go home.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool. Hold on a second. I almost have the picture. I'm like just seconds away from giving it to you guys. Oh my God.
So we went into the donut shop and I'm like, oh, I need to go get my wallet from his car.
No.
And no, he wouldn't let me get my money. He paid for my donut, which I thought
paid for
was
your donut.
quite
But only
gentlemanly.
because I wanted you to understand that that was a conditional thing based on whether you accept the authority of some men in New York, because that's very important. That's what my friendship is
I
about.
seem to have missed this memo. And then Fran was really concerned about him by the end of the time we all visited. He was exhausted.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
was so tired.
he's
Yeah.
going to be able to go rest at my place.
Yeah.
And I
That's right.
literally have a different bed in a different room. Like my living
But
room
you cleaned up your entire.
has a. I didn't clean up anything. I
It
said,
looked
those
great.
boxes,
And then,
you're going to have to move them.
yeah,
And you did.
I did. That's true. That's true.
And there's so I have a twin bed in my living room, and
Yes.
he slept a good hour or so.
I
It
did.
was
And then you showed me
perfect.
the book Children from Judge
From
Rutherford.
Yep,
That was
I
so
have that
cool.
book. Yeah.
That was a pretty cool book. Yeah.
You can just do it on tablet.
Hold on a second. I'm almost there with our picture. We had so much fun.
So I'm just filling in time while you're looking for the picture.
I know. I wish I could pull. I'm looking.
I'll see if I
You'll
can
get it.
find
You'll
it,
get
Keith.
it.
I think I know which
While
one
you're
you mean.
finding it, Matthew.
Yes.
Yeah,
Matthew.
You could see the chat if you were on the right site.
Yeah, how are you? What are you on, Matthew? Are you on a computer?
Hey, so thanks for that. So am I correct that I moved from private chat to comments, and that will give me the YouTube comments? Is that correct?
The live chat. The live chat.
I believe so. If you're on a smartphone, that's how it looks to me. Private chat to comments. Yes.
I see Born JW Jane Spitfire. I see
There
Dallas.
you go.
Yeah, okay. I got it.
That's it. Good.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, here we are. I've got the pictures, Keith. Just a second.
Oh, good.
You're talking about when we were at the restaurant.
Of course.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Yep, Nadine was there.
That's right.
That's
And
the one I
Melissa?
flaked on. I was terrible about that.
That's okay. Things happen. We're just so glad that you were there. When I saw you, I gave you a big hug.
That was cool.
There it is. I got it.
Okay.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
That's impressive.
And then I send it over
Did you
to
get it?
Sean. Just a second.
And this is the book you showed me.
Not yet, Keith.
All right.
So that book that he's talking about is the book that Rutherford had spoken about, and at a certain assembly where he had all the children come up and sit in front of him, and
He
talked
loves
about.
children. Yeah.
He gave each and every one of them their very own book that said children, and spoke to them about how they probably should not get married and stuff. I think I'm remembering it correctly. And they
That's
all
right.
held on to those books like they were just gold. And
Yeah.
in that book is like a fiction story of two people that I haven't read it all the way through. So it's a fiction story that gives them an example, which is really an amazing way that the theology is taught, is by example. Yep, children. There it is.
That's
Yes.
the book.
Oh, Matthew's got it. Okay. That's the one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Blue with the gold. Yep.
Yeah. Written by God's anointed servant. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The same author that wrote the number 7, the 7th book of the 6
It told us
volume.
about Jews and how much he loved them.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Children.
You've got a real copy, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Jew girls.
Hey.
She doesn't let me
There's a lot of people watching. Don't say anything.
It's fascinating. Many of his books had a naked body, usually male. Yeah, there we are.
There we are.
Yep.
Where is it? I don't see it.
I see it on the screen right now.
Oh, we don't see it. Are we still on?
I see you on and I can hear you, so I'm not sure.
All right.
But at the end of the table is where Keith is on the right, and I'm on the left at the end of the table.
Yeah, the picture doesn't
That's
come
good.
up for us. We just see the four of us here.
Does everyone else see it?
Yeah, we have the picture on our
Yeah, we have our own picture.
on our device.
Oh, wait, here.
Oh, well, it's not
Okay,
there. I
but it's
wonder
not
why it's
there.
not there.
I don't know.
That is strange.
Because that's
Well,
I
the
know
screen
why.
is turned off because the screen that you had up is no longer up on my display.
Okay, because we're on stage.
Oh.
This is what the friends are seeing.
Oh, that's why.
There we go.
Okay, because we can just see the
Oh,
four
I
of
get
you,
it. I get it.
or for all of us. Yeah,
That's what I see now too. Yeah.
yeah. We
You
had a
remember
great
all
time.
the names?
Oh yeah.
Okay, who? From the back left above,
Okay, Nadine,
next to her,
Marissa,
and then directly below.
JP, Shack Composer, Jerry,
Uh-huh.
and then Kev and Marissa.
Yep.
No. Kev and Linda James. Marissa's
That's
behind
right.
Kev.
Yep.
Marissa, and then Keith,
Yep.
me, and Joe.
We had a good time.
In
We
California.
did. So, Keith, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Are you going to be going to Las Vegas?
I'm hoping to go. I'm actually going. I'm going. Jerry and I have decided to go. So Jerry's going to take me.
Okay, you're going to love it.
Oh yeah. I hear there's going to be a lot.
Have a blast. Have a blast.
I'm going to gamble, get a tattoo, probably become a prostitute. Yeah.
Don't get arrested.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do this. Wow, you have that book, man. Incredible. Oh, that's a terrible thing.
Look at that.
What a freaky book. Wow.
Yeah, doesn't it look?
What?
It's the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're handing out to the children, eh?
Oh, wonderful. We're so loving. What a loving organization. Yeah.
It looks communist, doesn't it?
Keith,
my friend is just driving me around. So nice. So tell us more. So what are you guys going to be doing? Are you going to the Las Vegas, Joe and Fran?
No, not us.
No.
Okay.
No, but
right.
there's going to be a lot going. You're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And
is that because you don't like hanging out with mentally diseased people or something?
We don't mind, Keith. It's okay. Really, it's really okay.
I know, but I'll miss you.
We'll miss you too. We'll be there in spirit.
One way we will get together again, Keith.
Oh yes,
we will.
Yes, we will.
When you're playing your orchestra.
Oh yeah. When I tour, you'll get to see anybody that's an ExJW. I promise you right now, anyone is an ExJW, you get in for free. I promise.
Really?
That I'm going to make sure. Absolutely.
Wow.
100%. Tickets are free for ExJWs, period. Absolutely.
Good. Because we're usually broke. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
You should have gone to college.
Now we're going to. And by the way, Barbara Anderson went to college at the age of 59. So we can start at any time. Okay?
She's the bomb. She's the best.
Isn't she? Yeah.
So you'll notice that the square is the same powder blue as the JW.org symbol.
Yes, the blue. That's meaningful. That blue is meaningful.
And you'll see.
So Matthew, where are you from? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Were you born in?
More or less. Yeah, enough to be programmed.
Wow. Wow.
But the interesting thing is, at the same time, there was the family was involved in Rosicrucian and Freemasonry. Freemasonry because of the, my great grandfather. All of that. It was 3 generations of Jehovah's Witnesses, but he wasn't. He remained Freemason. And then you've got Jewish Kabbalah. And guess what? Maharishi Mahesh Yogi from the Hindu transcendental.
Huh.
And
And
wow, you've had quite a journey.
Yeah. but it also, I think, saved the day in many respects. It put us into an illusion because we operated
the
from a
ocean where we
place
live.
of truth,
Like a
but
good view.
it also, because it was kept in the family, when we were, service committee and all of this, we were just operating according to truth, and I think we were undetected and under the radar for such a long time in our sincerity.
Wow.
I think that's what happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I was very sincere. I knocked on people's doors in a very sincere way. I was a pawn. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a journey, part of a journey.
Hey, look, we got out. We're living our best life now. So, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, anybody that comes to the concerts, I'll make sure if you're an XJW, we'll figure it out. I'll make sure there's some kind of form you can fill out. And, you have to show your blood card at the door or something like that. I don't know.
Good luck. Good luck.
Okay, I want you to see where we live. Okay. This is where I live.
It's Santa
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. Beautiful.
Wasn't Nixon associated there? Wasn't Nixon in Santa Barbara?
Reagan. Ronald Reagan.
Reagan. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Keith.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so I miss you guys so much. I'm sad. I thought you were for sure going to Las Vegas. So
No, not this time.
Dear.
Okay.
But thank
So,
you.
where do you live? Do you live in Australia, Matthew?
I'm on the Cape of Good Hope Peninsula.
I can't hear you, my friend.
Sorry, Cape of Good Hope Peninsula. Can you hear me? Is that coming through?
You're South African. Yes, you're from South Africa.
I'm actually born City of London.
Wow.
But I was assigned Zimbabwe, and then it got very political. They put me out in the Mozambican border.
Did you know a couple named Dave and Laura Leonard?
No, I know different Leonards.
Okay, because my friends were in Zimbabwe as missionaries. Yeah.
What year?
What's that?
What year was that?
I think it was like 1996, 97. Yeah.
Yeah, they moved me to the Mozambican border.
Dave and Laura Leonard. Yeah, you might have known them. I have to go back, my friend. Okay. I want you to see this view. It's ridiculous. Hold on. Oh. I'm late for class now. I'm gonna get in trouble. Yeah, it's okay. Oh. Yeah, we're at a park.
Wow.
And you can see all of Santa Barbara.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if I throw myself down, maybe the angels will carry me. I don't know.
Keith, what class are you going to?
I'm taking a songwriting class.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I have to go because I'm going to be late. I miss you guys so much.
Same here, Keith.
I love you guys. Bye, Linda. Nice to meet
Bye,
you, sir.
sweetheart.
Nice to meet you, Gandalf. I mean, Matthew.
Gandalf. I think that was a compliment.
It is.
Gandalf from... Yes, Gandalf from
the Lord of the Rings.
That's right.
Good night.
All right, you guys. Have a great night. Have a great day. Great night.
Bye. You too.
Bye-bye. Wow.
So Linda James, you make up a music team?
No, I haven't made up a music team.
Keith's a great pianist and among other, I don't know if he plays anything else, but great composer.
I like to do karaoke, but I don't get out much doing that anymore, but I'm going to do it more.
Linda, I
Matter
keep
of fact,
threatening to come up with a karaoke cult.
oh no. Well,
Really?
a karaoke culture, sure.
Cult.
There is a culture of karaoke.
No, this would have to be a cult. This would have to be.
No, then I can't go.
Oh no! This you would be.
This is a good cult.
It's a good cult.
Okay. By the way, Stephen Hassan is doing surveys from people that have been in high control groups, but he's also doing the same kind of surveys with those that have been in healthy groups. So if this is going to be a healthy group, then maybe I can be a part of it and do that survey as well.
Well, I'd like to prove that cults can be healthy.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yes, absolutely. So,
because I mean, in all fairness, we literally are all parts of a culture.
correct. Yes.
So you can't let the bad people control the narrative, and they've controlled the narrative to the extent that cults is a bad word, and I object to that. I really do. I don't like that. We need to take back.
I like that. That's what I've done with the word apostate.
Yeah.
I've taken it back to make it a good thing.
Yeah.
And people have done that with many different things.
Yeah.
Something that's been used as a slur,
Yeah.
And you take it and be proud of it, which is what I'm doing with apostate. So apostate babe.
Good.
That's why I use it.
Yeah.
But on my Facebook account, I don't put apostate babe. I just put Linda James. Yeah. And I have a show on Saturday nights that I do that starts at 9 p.m. And I usually have something to say or talk about. And then I open it up for whatever people that are there in the chat want to talk about. And people can join me, like I'm joining Joe and Fran now. And we can go into all kinds of different conversations, including non-biblical and non-religion, just whatever's going on with us. And it's amazing how conversations will just flow. And it's helpful to talk to people that will understand why, I might be having a hard time in this certain situation, which an ordinary person might be able to flow in, but I'm just like getting triggered right and left like a pinball machine. Can't figure out why. And just having a few other people mention, well, it could be this or that, or even something I've learned. And I'll be like, I was doing this for I don't know how many times, but then I finally broke through it and I've succeeded, or these are some mistakes I've made and they were pretty bad. That's another thing. The video we watched, that gentleman talked about it's okay to make mistakes because that's where we gain our wisdom.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That is true. I mean, that's just literally true.
Yeah.
Yes.
When he said, when we are evil, I don't think he meant that we're deliberately evil.
I don't believe it.
Well, we do, there's evil within us. We just have to control it, know?
We're capable. My goodness. And to me, that's the value, is that though capable of great evil, we choose against it.
Right.
Guantanamo Bay was a great example of, unrestricted activity can turn really bad. And there was a prison experiment done at, I forget what his name is, a certain psychologist.
Oh, it was horrible. It was terrible.
So the evil that might not have even been thought of before came out in that situation where some people were playing the part of a prisoner and some people were playing the part of prison guards. And it was if you consider something as an exercise, so they imagined that they were prison guards and they imagined that they were prisoners. This wasn't in fact the case. It was like an exercise. And the things that came up during this exercise was quite enlightening. And it was going to last a certain amount of time, and his girlfriend said, no, we got to shut this down now because, the evil that you might not have even realized was in you came up. And in certain circumstances, when they had this authority, when they had this power, they ended up abusing the authority, abusing the power that they were given. And to be honest, I think that shows up with elders.
Linda,
And
Linda, absolutely
not all of them, but some.
Linda, I'm going to share that's exactly what I succumbed to in my family.
Yeah.
Lost Star literally brought the bully out in me, and I hate myself for it. I became the enforcer against my children.
That's what the head of the household's supposed to do, sir.
And
I mean, the culture I was raised in, yes, that's what you were promoted to do.
And honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to overcome that effect in the family. I don't know.
I appreciate your honesty.
I don't know.
That's pretty vulnerable of you to say that.
I told my family, I said, if any of us, want to get together again in any way, we're all going to have to be very, very good forgivers. So
That's the spiritual development, Joe. That's what's supposed to happen. I think that when you made your mind up, or you made your heart and your mind up on that very time, that opened the way in the bigger picture. That's my belief. That's my hope.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a time. There's stages for that lesson. I'd like my family to help be part of learning that as well. I really, truly would. If that's possible, that's what I would hope.
I think
for their benefit as well, not just for mine, for their benefit.
I think it made all of us something that we would not be.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it did. I know it did with me too. I have to share something really quickly. This weekend, my brother and his wife were visiting an area well known in our area, and
Cooperstown.
In Cooperstown,
it's a baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's
well known,
worldwide known. And he saw someone walking, and he said, "Boy, that looks like someone we know." I'm not going to mention names. And sure enough, it was our daughter and our son. They happened to be there just walking and, taking the afternoon and doing that. And he sent a picture. And so I said to my brother in a text, I said, "Who's the couple that you're with?" And he said, "Are you serious?" And I had to actually look at the picture closer and realize it was our daughter and our son. I did not recognize them. It's been 3 years. And when I did look closer, yes, I did see, but they were very friendly. Of course, aunt and uncle, they were never Jehovah's Witnesses. They always had a nice relationship. And they talked for about a half hour. And then my brother said, "Would you mind if we took a picture?" And they said, "Oh, sure, go ahead." Because they knew, if they were going to show us. But they were agreeable to that. So it was nice.
I take that as a positive.
Yeah.
I really do.
So that's how we hear about our children, through, our brothers and sisters and friends.
And I'm thinking about the spiritual growth that has to take place in the event that the organization tries to make the way open to eliminate shunning as we know it. Let's say tomorrow the society says, "New light, we shouldn't be shunning." And they even blame the Friends for it and say, "You were overzealous in your shunning." They'll do that. They would do that. They would.
It's 1975 all over again.
Oh, yeah, they would blame the Friends for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's nothing automatic to reestablishing relationships after breaches like that. There's not even if they wanted to, the ability to get past the hurt and the strangeness is going to be amazing. It'll be amazing. I think we can. I truly believe we can do it. But honestly, I think that's something, I really think that's something that the society may even be considering. Because I get the feeling that they're doing everything they can to make themselves look kinder, gentler, more 21st and 22nd century. I truly don't think they want the old organization as it used to be. I don't think they do. I don't think it would go well with them in court, for one thing.
And nor would the young people.
Nor would young people ever.
If they want to keep them, right?
Or attract new ones.
Dick Borghi talks about a time. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matt.
Sorry, Linda, go ahead, please. Sorry about that.
Thank you. So Dick Borghi from Six Screens will often talk about a time that they, the organization said they didn't have to shun anymore. So he invited certain people over and a sister or somebody like that, and then they reversed it. So this would not, if they, I have a feeling they're going to do this as well. I have a feeling they're going to get rid of the shunning, because I think they have to with Norway and other countries. Ostracism is just outright cruel. And if you look up the word ostracism or shunning it on Google, it's considered a bad thing. So, so the organization has done this before. So it's not to say that it can't do that. It definitely could.
Right.
That's all I wanted to say.
I'll provide something that just backs it up, Linda. Can I do that? It also backs up Joe and Fran's thought about it, because one of my assignments was taking branch committee and their spouses to psychiatrists and psychologists. One of my jobs was a suicide watch. I had to do that. Yeah, this will blow your mind. Now, I went to the coordinator of the branch and I said, I am quite troubled with the fact that the pharmacy at the branch, because it's a medical facility, it's under a lloydial title as a township. So what the organization does is it sets up various townships and it interchanges safety officers, because if it's from an outside jurisdiction, then they can get a safety officer from there, but it's still a conflict of interest. But it's a technicality that allows for that transfer of safety officers and things like that. And I went to the coordinator and I said, I have to report this because you have me as a safety officer. I said, I can see the pharmacy, branch pharmacy, is prescribing not just not prophylactics, but birth control, but along with birth control, antidepressants. I said, it's on display. We can take a look. And he says to me, no, there's no such thing as depression here. I said, what? What are you talking about? I said, you've got me on the system, on the hub system, taking branch committee to not just psychologists, psychiatrists who can prescribe the drugs.
Right.
I said, that's happening. He says, no, this you're mistaken. That's not happening. So I gave him names. I said, no, this is confusing, because in my naive mind, I don't realize he's already launched into spiritual warfare. He has to deny it.
Yes. Yeah.
And
gaslighting. He was gaslighting you.
Yeah, but it took me. This is how naive I am, because I said to him, I don't want to fight here. I'm just giving you the report as I'm supposed to legally do. You appointed me a safety officer, and I can tell you why this accident's happening and that accident's happening, because I've done the investigation. There it is. There's the photographs.
Wow.
All the photographs went missing. The system is so sophisticated. It's incredible. They can get into your phone. They can get into your devices. And I found it, and I reported it to him. And I said to him, look, I'm not here to fight with you. I see you've got a point of view. I said, I've made my report, and I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Wow.
And as I left the office, I was met by branch doctor, one of the doctors. And he says, Matt, I'm so glad Holy Spirit's brought me to you. I go, what? Yeah, okay, yes, that's great. He says, don't bother the old man. He says, we know about this problem. I go, what problem is that? No, the depression thing. Do you know what the coordinator had done? Press the button underneath his table.
Oh, geez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it's all recorded. It's all recorded. And it was a signal to bring him in.
Wow.
And it didn't dawn on me. It took me a while to realize this is what had been done. And so the method is to go, no, we're all aware of it. We're all aware of it. Just leave the matter. We will take it from you. And look, I just walked away because I'm going, oh, well, I feel confident now.
Yeah.
Not realizing that this is an obfuscation strategy.
Yeah.
Now, one of the doctors, another doctor, pulled me in and said to me, Matt, sit here and take a look at this because you are an elder. So what I'm about to show you, you have a right to know. And showed me a whole load of emails with direction from WHO about these problems.
Wow.
But Joe Fran, what happened next will blow your mind. Remember I said to you there was a pattern of deaths that I cannot cry foul play because they're all explained.
Mm-hmm.
All the investigations are explained. That doctor died. They bravely transmitted the information to me. And then it was a car accident right outside the branch.
Oh my goodness.
And every time we kept making headway, car accident, death, somebody's shot. And
Untimely.
you go, there's a pattern here, and they're going, no, it's just Satan's world, folks. That's what it is. It's Satan's world. And you're going, yeah, because you're Satan.
Yes, that's right. Wow.
I have a question for you, Matt. Since you were in that position, thank you for sharing with us what you shared here.
The emotional weight there. I apologize.
No, I'm actually with you on that. That must have just been so mind-boggling, and trying to mentally figure out how to place it to be okay, in your mind, and with the responsibilities you have, and then being shown this by another doctor, shown these emails, and coming from who, this is real medical stuff. This is confirmation of studies that have been done, not the Watchtower opinion, but literal studies by literal psychiatrists and psychologists. So, yes, that wow. I have always wondered, because you said you were on suicide watch, I've often wondered if the organization keeps track of the people that have committed suicide that they've come to know about, because in some cases, I've heard that if somebody does, they don't get to have their funeral in a kingdom hall or something like that. So, oh my God. Okay, that look on your face.
Are you ready for the answer?
Yes.
Fran and Joe, I am going to do my best to be tactful for the channel here. Yeah. But the suicide is worn as a badge of praise. Oh, the branch committee member's son committed suicide. Oh, what a shame. Oh my, how hard for him that this has happened.
As a badge of what?
It's a badge of honor. It's taking Isaac and actually committing suicide. Oh, sorry, what am I saying? Sorry,
Isaac as a sacrifice. Isaac as a sacrifice, sacrificing their son.
Yeah, it's a badge of honor. Oh, this has happened. How we feel for Jehovah, who's lost so many sons in this way, and all of this kind of stuff. And it's such a difficult thing. But the problem is, Linda James, you hear one story and it's replicated in this branch committee member and that branch committee member. Wait, hang on. There's a pattern that's going on.
Yes.
And my tipping point was Hamburg, Germany, because I was on.
Yes.
I was. You know about this? Maybe I mentioned it, I don't know, but my students are there in Hamburg. And I'm on the phone, and happened in real time.
Oh my goodness.
And they missed the bullet narrowly. And then they open up to me, because this is my students telling me, oh, this is what's happened. I'm finding it difficult to talk about the trauma. And now they're opening up, and it's a whole family. And I can see the movement from our congregation to Germany. I can see the connections going on. What happens? Congregants come over here and they tell us, stop talking, stop your dialogue. And I'm going, sure, you cannot suppress this talk when people are trying to heal through the truth. You're suppressing that, and you're creating another problem there and another trauma that's unresolved. This is diabolical. And then, of course, they denied this was a Jehovah's Witness, because when the crime occurred, because they had closed ranks on this person and isolated them, and they had a mental problem, sure, okay, but they were washing their hands of the fact that they had created this mental problem, or they'd, okay, let's not put all blame, but exacerbated it, right?
Yes.
So when the crime was committed, they said, no, we deny this was a Jehovah's Witness, because when they pulled the trigger, this is not a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, brother.
That's a disassociating thing.
Oh my goodness.
So he's out, so there's no Jehovah's Witness. Who are you talking about? That's how that was covered up.
I recall the first time reading about this story, and it was devastating. That was a night that the announcement of him no longer being a Jehovah's Witness was supposed to happen. And I went to look for that article again and never could find it. So I either imagined that, or that was in fact the case. Did you ever hear anything confirming that was a night that he was going to be announced?
So Linda James, what happens is the cleanup crew came and they took down that information that you're talking about. And now what's happened, because they know that our memories are fragile, now they're going, are you sure you read that? Are you sure about it? Where is the article? Where is it? So this is the strategy that happens in the cleanup crew afterwards. So when you get articles like this, you take snapshots of them and you squirrel them away, because otherwise it's gone.
They scrub them.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. And they said because he committed a crime, he has no voice. His story must not be heard.
They disenfranchised him. Okay.
And so now we can't learn about it. We can't learn about what led up to this and what contributed, because again, there's a liability trace. It's not just one person that committed that crime. There's many, what is it, the 1,000 paper cuts? It's the contributing factor. Yeah. And what happens if this confidentiality thing, all right? If I've committed a sin, let's say it's some gross sexual misconduct which is embarrassing, which is unspeakable, right? If I have been cleansed by Christ's blood in this religion, right? I should be able to come back and say, oh, by the way, my conscience is clear now because I have the sin atoning value of Jesus Christ's blood. And guess what? I can talk about my Paul scenario where I was stoning Stephen, or I can talk about what I once was.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen. Those testimonies don't exist in this congregation.
No.
Because it's not about confidentiality of the person. It's about having a system in place to prevent liability leakage. It's a sophisticated gag order.
Well, money is the God. Money is their God. Their God is money.
And more control of spirit, which came up in that opening video that you showed, which it's got ties into theosophy. There's more. You see, money is a means.
Yeah.
But it's the spirit of us, our potential, our intuitive side.
They don't want them. Suppress
miracles, all of those. The imagination. What's it? The imaginalis. That has got to be suppressed. Some get through. I had a remarkable teacher in the coordinator of Zimbabwe branch from Canada. Remarkable. But that was an anomaly. It was an irregularity, because when New York comes in and it sees, oh, well, you know, your Rhodesia Zimbabwe scenario is opened up, because it was kind of like underground, pretty much like Russia. They started to identify, oh, hang on a second, you don't quite match our teaching. You don't quite match. So what we're going to do is we're going to send in one of our new coordinators to replace him. We're going to revamp and send in a new circuit overseers, and we'll put in the missionaries, and we'll overhaul this entire thing. And that's exactly what happened.
That makes sense. Were you ever aware of the things that went on in Malawi? I mean, we might be similar to age. I remember learning about it as a child, and we were told that there were Jehovah's Witnesses being under great abuse because they were not willing to be part of politics, not willing to succumb to the government of that land, and so they were standing up for being part of Jehovah's government as opposed to the government of the land, right? You know, and we sent letters.
That's a quarter of the story.
Is that right? Okay.
Oh, yeah, because Malawi became Malawi. What was it, 1960?
Yeah, it was late 60s, yes. Late 60s into the 70s.
Right. So they come out of the British system with Banda, right? But in 1879, right?
The beginning of the org.
Yeah, or the second rendition, because there was one before Russell, right?
Correct.
Am I correct? Okay.
Yes.
So in 1879, they send in missionaries to Africa, starting from Cape Town. Why? Because when you were a shareholder at that time, you bought into the land, the graveyards, you bought into the oil wells and all of this, because Russell was advised, do not put your money into a high interest account. You must put your monies into these stocks, which if you follow us, you won't have to think about it, which will mean that you can just take your haberdashery monies and all of this kind of stuff, and you put it in there, and we will beat the inflation system, or the inflation devaluation, right? So when they sent in the missionaries to Africa, right, which you can read about in like 1976 yearbooks and stuff like that, you can see that they inserted missionaries into Nyasaland, which was a big mining operation. But when they educated the indigenous culture, the Africans that were living there, some of them got smart and went, oh, wait a second, you guys are using our labor through this indoctrination process for your shares. That's why you're here under this religious system, all right? And we're going to expose it. And that's what created the alternative watchtower in 1948, which George Phillips had to shut down. So he was sent from Glasgow in 1948, that era, plus or minus those years. And I've got his books and I've got his notes, his handwritten notes, I've got them. And
alternative watchtower is a new term to me. So that's fascinating to hear that.
Actually, it's the same watchtower.
Okay.
But when you go to Malawi, they say, oh, watchtower, watchtower. Now, I've got correspondents from Malawi right now, writing to me right now and saying, Matt, you are spot on about this thing. We've got somebody in that branch who's inserting information into the watchtowers, and they haven't detected who it is, but he's seeding apostate information into the publications. He's seeding information, and I found it. Oh, the problem is I'm going to just get into more and more stories here. But okay, 1948, George Phillips is sent here and tells South African government and governments Nyasaland up to Congo, He says Watchtower is not the same as Watchtower, New York, and Watchtower, Pennsylvania. This is becoming militant.
Okay.
Yep.
And another thing, is there there was a difference between Watchtower, 2 words, and then Watchtower became all 1 word. Does that tie into what you're talking about, or is that something else?
You giving me extra information? I can't. I've got limits on this, but I can reference the Watchtower story, which is our own publication. And before they booted me to the curb, I had a commissioner of oaths make me a new publication with the old disintegrating publication that was in the archive at South Africa Writing Desk, and then Franz, who is the current research overseer, wrote. He first of all, he wanted to know who I was, and he sent it to me in French because there's a Swiss version. And both versions, both the English and the Swiss version, I had it signed and stamped by a commissioner of oaths in the branch. So I have those copies, because the problem is those copies are disintegrating, even in their archive. They do have the PDFs, and those are in data havens, right? Like Liechtenstein and all of those places, right? I don't know about Ireland. Ireland's more to do with economics and things like that, but they've got them in these data havens, because what was happening in 2013 is governments were coming in and saying, we want to do data audits, not just audits on tax and what's happening with your bookkeeping system, but they actually managed to penetrate and started to do data audits on the old Admin 2000 system, which has now become a hub. Because Admin 2000 had too much leakage. Somebody like me, who was anointed, I could order a 4x4 truck and it would be delivered in a week. Right? That's how the requisition. If you're anointed and you've passed all the tests, when you're on the system just puts you to the top of the list. And so they were saying, oh, we need plumbing done, we need this, and the requisition's just going through. All right. And so that's how that was working. So when I now went into that system and I said, look, I need this thing from research department, okay, I was able to ask the commissioner of oaths, who is in-house at the branch, to sign it. So I have legitimate copies of those things, brand new copies. So if we connect, I can fill in on what those things are.
That is fascinating. So does that have anything to do with 2012, when they made the 144,000 being called the faithful and discreet slave, turned it into only the governing body was called the faithful and discreet slave in 2012? So that's right before 2013, which is when we got our silver sword, correct?
So when that Franz took over the research department, David Splain used to be more involved with that. So David Splain and me met around about that time, and we were talking about the tribe of Benjamin and tribe of Joseph, because they were the younger brother contemporaries. It wasn't at that time spoken of as the crossover. It was just, oh, you're the younger brother, you're Benjamin, or you're Joseph, right? And I remember talking with him on 2 occasions about that. One with his wife and then one on his own. And when that happened, it was the reset. Because guys like me created a financial liability, because here in Cape Town we had somebody who was claiming to be of the anointed, and they started trying to seize assets through litigation, and we got pretty far with it.
I see.
And they had to stop that. And so the one chap who I was with is an advisor to the governing body. If I tell you his name, I've just got to hold the names, right? He's an advisor to the governing body, and he said, we have to shut this down because I'm with Matt and I can see already what's happening with the books and all of this kind of stuff. We have to put limits on asset control, and there's several other things that are happening with litigation, and guys are gaining ground with it, and we have to just stop it. So let's bring in this change and now it's only the governing body, but when they're together.
That's
They
right.
still
Only if they're all together. Yes.
They still represent the anointed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in other words, if somebody like me still communicates to them, it still gets a priority. But to try and do that, they've basically battened down the hatches. It's very, very difficult to do that. I tried to do that in January.
It sounds like you're using the name Franz, as in Raymond Franz or Fred Franz. Am I misunderstanding you? Are you mentioning a person with
SCHREYDL?
Okay, I was misunderstanding you. Okay.
Sorry about that. I beg your pardon. I was getting jammed with the name. But anyway, he is.
That's okay. Do you remember the name of the gentleman that used to visit Raymond Franz' uncle Freddie Franz in his later years? I believe he was a Jewish man, a very mysterious and unique man. Seemed to be an advisor or just a companion, or he was a someone, not quite. I don't know if he was a Jehovah's Witness or what, but he wore sunglasses and just kind of a ordinary looking guy, but he would show up to see Ray Franz all the time. You know, do you remember who that guy was and who he was to Fred Franz?
Off the top of my head, it's resonating. It's one of those things that, what's the time here? 3:38. Well, if I was asleep, it would probably come back to my mind, but I can't.
Yeah, whenever you think of it, that's fine. If it doesn't come to mind, that's okay. I think we're kind of taking over the show. I'm sorry, Joe and Fran.
Okay, no, we're enjoying it.
Is it? Okay.
So Matthew,
Gail's here. Yay.
Hi. Yeah, Matthew?
Yes, sorry, I'm with you.
Okay. So it sounds like you had quite the responsibilities in Watchtower.
Yeah, and was really ignorant at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's what they
Probably
expect.
It's probably just as well.
Hey, Gigi, Gail.
Hi.
I saw you in the chat.
Hello, Gigi.
Hi. I wanted to say something to Matt because I agree with him, and I'll be brief. I went to some Kingdom Halls in a bunch of different states, and I always said that everyone's different in each state I've visited, and that always flabbergasted me because I'm from New England and they're known to be cold and very unloving. I went down to Florida and I didn't want to leave because they were like being in a Baptist church. Everybody was hugging and kissing and love. They had a bus bringing people in. They had 3 congregations in the same hall. The same thing in West Virginia. And then and the West Coast, no offense, Linda, anything goes out there.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but I just wanted to touch on evil, and probably maybe Fred and Joe might know this, and maybe even Matthew. When evil first started coming out, I don't know if anybody read the book The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. Does anybody know who he is?
I never read it. No.
Well, Scott Peck wrote. He was in the military. He was I think a minister. Well, anyway, he wrote a book about the My Lai massacre in Vietnam.
Yes.
And it was all about evil and why do people do evil things. And they were following orders, all the soldiers. They massacred elderly people, women and children. There were no Viet Cong in this crowd whatsoever. And 2 guys that were in a helicopter, they squealed on the captain that ordered them to assassinate, like literally assassinated. And I was very active in the mental health field at the time. And he said that the evil is not in their psych book. So I looked it up myself because I had the diagnostic, the DSM manuals, and nothing about evil did they ever talk about. And that's what this book was all about, how evil humans can be. And that stayed with me for quite a while. And then, of course, you had the horrific Charles Manson murder. So I started doing a lot of study. I was fascinated on what makes people tick and why do people do the most atrocious things to other humans. And today I'm very emotional because I watched Charlie Kirk a few times, and that poor young man to get shot down like he did in front of all these students. And I mean, that was just heartbreaking because Charlie did nothing but advocate for college.
I haven't heard how he's doing.
He's dead.
Oh no.
Yes, that was a professional hit. The sniper was on the roof, and he shot him right in the neck, and he bled out. But they didn't want to let anybody know that. And the sniper, as far as I know, is still on the loose.
That's horrendous.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then the beautiful girl from Ukraine, and by the way, she was a Black Lives Matters advocate, and she got stabbed to death, minding her own business, coming home from work, and she got stabbed brutally in Charlotte. They tried to do a GoFundMe page on him, but they took it down because of all the backlash they were getting from the public. And then there was a lady in Georgia, the daycare, a Christian daycare. She beat the crap out of a 1-year-old. This big, heavy African-American woman. And it's not. And then there was a shooting today in Colorado High School. There was a shooting. And it goes on and on and on. And here's my take on society. Instead of pumping everybody with 50 million psychotic drugs, get them help. Half the drugs cause them to be more depressed, cause them to be suicidal, get the help they need, but they don't have enough manpower to sit down with these individuals, sit down with them, find out what's going on in your life, what's happening, put them in a rehab program or something, get them the necessary help, stop pumping them with drugs. And get the parents to pay more attention to their kids. Get them the heck off. Get them back to playing sports, going out playing games, go to school dances. They don't do that today. Everybody's sitting listening to their even my own grandchildren. I yell at them, stop talking on the cell phone. Go out and do something. Go have fun. It's like the breakdown of society right in front of our faces. And these kids, I can't. I have 3 nephews. They're all on Klonopin for anxiety, and I'm like. It's like it doesn't stop, and I'm sorry. I'm just so wound up about all the violence, unnecessary violence, and then you find out, they have mental illness, and no one, the mother knew, like the transgender that shot those little children in the middle of a prayer. He was on all kinds of medication, and then I'm sorry, Fran. I'm just so upset over everything that's going on.
Yep.
I'm so glad you came on, Gail.
Thank you. Gail.
Oh, really? You're welcome. I'm sorry if I got emotional. Then I had 3 friends.
I'm glad you got emotional.
And then I had 3 friends who passed away on me.
Oh my God.
This is emotional worthy. This is supposed to be emotional. It's all good.
The gentleman I talked about, Mark, he was a brother, and his son put the mother away, and she lasted 2 months, and then he called the police on him. He just died in a nursing home. His son put him away too. And I know he died of a broken heart. And I wasn't allowed to go visit him. And I'm so upset over that because Mark said I was the only one he would talk to. And his son's an elder. He couldn't talk to his own damn son. No. And his son said, I don't want you talking to Gail Murphy. She's an apostate. He goes, but she loves me and she listens to me. That's really heartbreaking for me.
I'm so sorry, Gail.
Mark was such a sweet man. He really was. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, and then I went to a wake last week, and then another friend of mine just died, and I have a friend I'm working with who has cancer, and he's got throat cancer. I used to date him in high school, and I'm helping him. I was with like 7 people I graduated with, and every one of them, except for me, they all have cancer. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's one right after another. I don't know. It's just. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for being.
Don't be sorry.
Gail, please don't stop coming on.
I think Marissa wanted to say something either to you, Gail, or on this subject.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it Marissa? My eyes aren't. Oh, I'm sorry, Nicole. I'm sorry. My eyes aren't that good.
I wasn't even going to come on because I know Marek.
Gail,
no, you did the right thing, Gail.
I'm glad you came on. You've got my tears.
Nicole, I'm sorry. If your microphone is on, you can say something.
I don't know. Is it on?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Welcome, Nicole.
Hi. Hey.
Welcome. Yeah.
Are you the Nicole that we talked with today?
I am that one. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm
for
glad you
coming
came on.
Yeah.
Nicole has been out of the organization for how many years?
I was
A long
18. I was 18. I'm 45. You do the math.
Yeah, she was disfellowshipped at 18 and she's been out and she's 45 years old. And she doesn't know a lot of the things that the ExJW community are going through because she lost contact and she didn't know that there's a group of ExJWs. And we just met her today. She came into our shop and we invited her to come on. And here she is.
So glad you came on, Nicole. We have some beautiful people that are here.
Welcome, Nicole. I'm glad you're here. So you walked into the shop and found out there's like a group of us out here. We put the fun and dysfunction as we're healing, okay? Just know this. There's a little bit of drama, but there's a lot of love. A lot of love, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional. Marissa, did you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to say that I wish I could give Gail a big hug.
Us too.
Yes, we're going to give you a virtual hug, Gail. We love you.
I
Thank
love
you
you
so
guys
much
too.
for coming on and sharing that with us. It's
Well,
such a burden.
I mean, 3 people. I was going to go see Mark. I called him, but the nurse said he was asleep. And then the next time I found out he was in the nursing home. And then my other friend, Donnie, who's in a nursing home, I went to school with him. I was going to give him a phone call, and he just passed away. I don't think I could. I can't take it anymore.
Gail, you know, that's the curse of growing older. We're all growing older. It just is.
And I know it's awful.
I know.
And then I said, "Why am I still here?"
If I could say something, Nicole had a really interesting view of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole, if you wanted to share that with us.
I said a couple things about death. Can you remind me?
Something like when we die and what happens to our, our atoms?
Well,
what we're made of? That we don't actually die?
Oh, well, I know that I mentioned to you that I had opportunity to study other religions and philosophies, and reincarnation does resonate with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do feel that there is a part of us that moves through worlds that is not necessarily bound to 3-dimensional form here on planet Earth.
Right.
And sometimes is.
Well, we have limitless in our mind, and that's what we hold out for us.
Can I say something?
Please.
Yeah, please do, Marissa.
I just wanted to say that it's such a nice, or it's refreshing to have a more open mind with regards to those sorts of discussions about what happens after death. Because I remember when I was in the organization, I just thought people were crazy. Oh, they just, they're nuts because they don't believe what I believe. And so it's really refreshing, and I enjoy hearing what people believe. Like I've heard that we have stardust in our, we literally are made from star, dust. So, it's just kind of nice to not poo-poo other people's ideas. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I think it's so precious to be able to just know that we can care for someone else who feels differently than us, especially when it has to do with our lives and sufferings and death. It's a support we need for each other. We need to give that support to each other. We just need to.
Yeah, we do.
We really do. And which makes religions so abusive, because what religions do, unfortunately, it just paints us into corners, and we can't hug each other when we're all in a corner.
Fran and Joe, can I contribute something that ties in this discussion with something that Linda James mentioned about Malawi? Because Freemasons came in, basically put in a new flag, and look, there's a whole history there, but it was to suppress the spirituality of the Nyasaland people, namely the Tonga and the Chewa, the various tribes that were there. But a lot of the foods, just naturally, if let's take a lettuce in the United States. A lettuce is not a normal lettuce anymore. Okay, the old lettuce is something akin to cocaine in its natural state. But in Malawi, you've got something called iboga, which is a root, and you can extract a drug from it called ibogaine. It's like the masculine, I'm going to put this crudely, it's the masculine version of dimethyltryptamine, or DMT.
Wow.
Right?
Oh boy.
So what this does is you can take it and it will fire up your mind, and things that are in memory you can recall very, very easily, even childhood trauma, even an experience in the womb if you've had an umbilical cord around your neck.
Wow.
It's that kind of thing. So the Malawian people, this is just in the culture. You just go and eat it. Is this Schedule 1 drug? We don't know about that. We go outside and it grows in the yard.
Amazing. Amazing.
So this is one of the things that happened to suppress the human spirit, because now you introduced our video at the beginning.
Yeah.
And this idea of the book that comes in. You've got the Canon of the 12 Baskets, you've got the Quran, you've got the Bible, the book, you see, that comes in and it changes things. But there's remnants in those books, like We Are Gods, for instance. What is it? Psalms, is it? 82:6. We are God, or you are God.
Yeah.
And you have this iboga. What it does is, if you have done something of a heinous nature against your fellow humans, your heart's going to stop. You're going to die, because you have violated supreme principles or supreme natural law. But if you survive it, you could also have like an ego death, or you could have your heart stop. And what would happen is, it's very similar to being like put into a NASA centrifuge, where it separates your consciousness from your body, and you actually look at yourself. And so many Malawians are going, well, this isn't mystical. This is just normal life, folks.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You're telling us in school now that we're nuts. But this is our culture. This is how we've grown up. This is our food that we eat that creates this.
Wow.
And so a lot of our foods, genetically modified foods, our corn and our starches and all of this kind of stuff.
Totally.
Guess what?
Corrupt.
It shuts down. Yeah, you're not utilizing the mind correctly.
That's like the third eye, opening up the third eye.
Yeah, pituitary and pineal,
Yeah.
which is a spark plug. It's a biological spark plug.
Yeah.
But yes, you're correct. But the ibogaine is just one of those gateways. Another, there's several types of gateways that open it up. But Malawi was like chief offender. Zimbabwe was another one. 1870s, 1890s, they eliminate the principal spiritual leaders. They kill them, because they're saying, oh, we cannot have these custodians of knowledge pass this on to the rest of the population.
Yeah, and see, all these things that we're talking about, and the pain and suffering and the stress that we're suffering as a result of these things were planned. It was an agenda. They didn't happen haphazardly, and they have an effect. And honestly, the only way we can overcome that effect is by being open to them, and frankly sharing. Sharing. The antidote. The antidote is our combined care for each other. That's everything that we're learning.
Yep.
It's the antidote.
With truth, even if it's a very difficult truth, because
Yeah.
where there is the soil of truth, which is dirty, that's where love grows.
Yeah.
It takes root.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think Dallas, did you want to say
hello,
something?
Dallas.
Well, I want to say that I want to be of kindness to GD there, and I'm so sorry to hear that what you're about your experience, and just so sorry that there was somebody who was looking out for you, and he's one that genuinely loves you very dearly. I can tell by your words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Dallas.
And I'm so sorry because I get my depression at times too, which it happens, and much of it has to do is because of this because of that evil cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You know what? I just want to add what I heard tonight, because I believe that wholeheartedly. With all these mass killings and the school shootings and the evilness, just randomly killing people and beating them up, they want to instill fear in the American people. And I think the more people get scared, what are we going to do? We're going to hide in our homes. And Charlie Kirk did say last week, he said that he's not going to let fear stop him from talking, because that's what he felt he was meant here to be. He said he was meant to be here to enlighten children who wanted to believe in God and who wanted to lead a better life. And he said he wasn't afraid, and he knew he was a target. And then what happens? He certainly was a target today.
Yeah.
So I also heard, actually it was a rabbi who said this, that we all have to be diligent and stay strong and not let the fear mongering keep us immobilized in our home and to be afraid to go out and to stop living, because that's what they want. And I think all this whole week has been horrendous. It's not even over yet. And I don't think who wants to go out now? You can't even go on a bus. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't go to a concert without. And what everybody and most people are packing. I mean, I have a gun in my own home, and this is what they're instilling us, is to be afraid. I don't want to be afraid. I really don't. I want to live my life and not be afraid of society. That's all I wanted to say.
You won't be. You're not alone, Gail. You're not. There's
I know I'm not.
Yeah, you ain't alone, because I don't want to live in fear. I don't let fear stop me from living my life.
Good.
Yes, that is good.
If we think back to 2020 to 2022 or 2023, however long that pandemic lasted, what did they want people to do? They wanted people to stay inside
6 or
6 feet apart. And that's exactly what they wanted people to do, and to put that fear in people, and it worked.
Well, now we know. We won't do that.
Yeah, now we know, and we won't do that anymore.
Good.
But the people, the old people in Florida that got out, that were in the sun, they're the ones that survived. And it gets deep, and I'm not going to go into it. But we were listening to this doctor today, very well known.
Jack, if you want to look him up, I suggested Jack, Jack Cruz, Kruse.
He knows a lot about everything that's happened and why it happened.
Jack Cruz.
But yeah, just what happened back then. They're doing it in different ways.
Yep.
But like you said, Gigi, don't be afraid.
No fear.
We used to go out every morning. We used to go to Walmart purposely just to get out. And the elders were telling us, well, you're elderly. You've got to stay in place.
Not a
We go,
chance.
no way. This is when we were
Oh,
still
God.
in. We
Oh, my
said, no
God.
way. We're not going to comply.
No.
And we didn't get sick. And the fear is what got people. And also the thing that they gave in the arm. So anyway, there's no movie tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Respect for Catherine.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to stay connected with anyone else here, just let us know, and we can make sure that
we'll hook you up. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nicole, thank you so much for
Yes.
coming on. It was such a delight to meet you today.
I'd like to introduce myself. Hi there, Nicole. Yeah.
Thank you, Dallas.
Dallas, I'm so glad you came on.
Me too.
I'm honored to be able to greet Nicole. She's ain't she a new member to our family?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Well, welcome to the family.
Oh, that's nice, Dallas.
You're beautiful, Dallas.
Thank you, Dallas.
You're all beautiful.
Thank you all
Very
for
much.
coming on.
You're welcome. Everybody have a good rest of the week.
Gail,
Yes, Gail.
Nicole,
Gail,
Call us
Dallas.
whenever, Gail.
take care, you hear?
Thank you, Marissa. Thank you all.
Thank you guys. Arrivederci.
Yep. Everybody have a good, safe week.
And as Vern says, let's keep living our life with love.
That's a good one.
Lots of love. That's the antidote. Love.
That's right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Love you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you for listening to me.
Y'all take care now. Y'all take care.
You too.